This is your 60-second countdown. Just swept away. Yeah! Got straight through.
And that is beautifully done.
Very good off the bat.
Cut away. Oh my goodness! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's game time.
Hello everybody and welcome to Bears TV for our first men's fixture of the season on Bears TV. It's the third game for the Bears in the Vitality Blast 2025 as they take on Yorkshire here at EdgBLASTon. Yeah, you with me? No, I'm gonna make it catch on. Guys, I'm gonna be your host again. My name is Atif Nawaz. I've got an all-star panel with me this evening here in Birmingham. I've got the one and only Adam Bridge alongside me, who's going to be lead commentary today. Also with us, we have Warwickshire legend Recorder Gordon. Recorder, how are you doing? You well?
Good evening, everyone.
It's a pleasure to have you back again. It's been so much fun the last few seasons. And in stats position, our stats guru today, what do we call him?
Well, the technical term in cricket is a badger, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like badgers. Stats squirrel. I like squirrel.
Squirrel? No,
Squirrel's
squirrel.
cuter than a badger, I would say.
Aren't they slightly more vermin-like?
He's just waiting to speak. Are you well, mate?
Yeah, all good, lads. I think that's probably one of the most unique introductions I've had here in the Badgers Corner on Bears TV. But yeah, pleasure to be back, and obviously we've got an absolute blockbuster of a clash on our hands. So yeah, great to be here. Also hoping that everybody tuning in is having a wonderful Friday evening, and yeah, let's hope that the entertainment is exactly what we hope for here at EdgBLASTon.
Yeah, there we go. See, Aaron's on board. I like it. Aaron knows it's all about EdgBLASTon. This should be a big game. Now, in the tables, the teams are currently 8th and 9th, respectively, which is not wonderful for either of them, but we know that it's a very capable team, particularly for the Bears, who are bolstered today. I can't wait to share their team with you. The toss has already taken place, and I believe that the Birmingham Bears captain has won the toss and opted to field first. Let me come to you first, Recordo. What do you make of that decision to come here and field first? We've seen the women's game a little bit earlier today. It was a little bit different conditions, obviously, in different circumstances. But there, Somerset opted to win the toss and field first, and they were soundly beaten by the Bears.
Yeah, I think with the weather around and potential rain later on, I think sets up nicely for a DLS chase if needs be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think good choice. Maybe a little bit of moisture still in the air in the wicket, so make most of that with that new ball, and then see how we go later on for a chase.
And I suppose, Adam, it's a used pitch as well. I mean, used a little bit earlier today. We saw the women's teams playing on it a little bit earlier, so maybe worth just having a look at what it does.
Yeah, I mean, if it's one of the hybrids, they are in tremendous nick and last for quite some time. I think the other thing is, 2 games, 2 defeats. They've set the tone on both occasions. So actually, maybe going out and chasing might be a better option for them, particularly when you look at the changes that have come into the team today.
Well, perfect segue. Let's take a look at the team for the Birmingham Bears today, and this is quite the lineup. So prepare yourself. Fantastic Sam Hain, who's been on Bears TV many a time, actually, usually to collect his Player of the Match award. Another one who's been here for Player of the Match awards, Dan Mousley, in at 5. It's already shaping up to be a strong lineup. And then Ed Barnard in at number 6 as well. It's lots of batting, and the batting goes very, very deep. We've got Smith coming in at 7 as well with the darts. I must be a bit of a darts fan. I didn't realise he was a big darts fan. There's George Garton at 7 as well. Will be in action very, very soon, I'm sure, with the ball. Danny Briggs as well, who's been a bit of a mainstay here at the Bears for several seasons. Hassan Ali is back for another season with the Bears as well. Great to see him back in action, although that photo is slightly outdated. He's got longer hair than that. We'll see that later, I'm sure. Rounding out the 11, we have Jake Lintott. So that is a cracking 11 for the Birmingham Bears, who look bolstered by those changes, Ricardo.
What a power pack lineup.
Yeah.
That is Moeen Ali 3, Sam Hain 4. Thinking of having George Garton down at number 8, 9. There's a lot of power in that batting order, so hopefully we'll see a lot of runs being scored and a lot of wickets with all the spin and all-rounders that we've got in that bowling lineup.
Yeah, there's so many options as well, and they need a win, as we talked about. It's been a disappointing start so far for the Bears in the Vitality Blast. We'll take a look at the tables, the points table, in a moment. Currently, the Bears have played 2 and lost 2, which is the opposite, the inverse of some other seasons that they've had previously. Every other season I've been a part of it, they can't stop winning. But if we take a look at the table, we'll see that in a moment that they've really struggled to start the season. There we go. In that second to last spot, it's the team that they're playing is in the last spot as well. They've got to do some work here to pull things back, Adam.
They have, but as you said, I mean, it's quite interesting, isn't it? So the last season in particular, they went off like an absolute express train, and it all come thundering to a halt and got derailed in the quarterfinals. This time round, we're taking a slightly different approach. Yeah. And maybe that's and look, let's not shy away from the fact the first 2 games there were big holes in the team. Obviously, Moeen came in for the game here against Durham, having missed the Notts game prior to that. From the bowling front has been depleted. They were expecting to have Hassan before now. Obviously, he wasn't able to join up in time. Chris Wokes has obviously gone off with the Lions. He could have potentially been an option for them. Obviously, they tried young Sylvester, who was fairly raw, had a couple of games to see. He'll probably go back and play a bit more second 11 cricket. So today it feels like they've got the team that they would probably have wanted to start the campaign with. Obviously, we're missing Gleeson. He's picked up a little niggle while he's been out of the IPL. So there's so many players. Bethel's not here, and we're so used to Bethel being here. He's playing for England right now. But obviously Mousley's back today. And, we talk about Sam Hain coming up here. How many times have we had to deal with Dan coming up?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was I think he might have the record, actually, Dan Mousley coming up for Bears TV as the player of the match. You talked about Hassan Ali there joining the team late, but he's bringing some form with him. He took his career best T20 bowling figures against Bangladesh recently while representing Pakistan. A 5-wicket haul in a T20 is always pretty impressive, but he's bringing that form. I mean, he always brings a lot of energy anyway, doesn't he? And he's also bringing quite a funky hairstyle with him.
Understand this conversation about hairstyles.
Well, you said, what did you say? He looks a bit like Desperado. He looks like
Desperado.
He looks like Antonio Banderas from Desperado. He does a little bit.
Give me the mariachi vibes.
He is giving the mariachi vibes.
I don't know if you saw the video on the socials the other day of his arrival.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can just see the absolute love for Hassan Ali as a person, just being around the group.
Yeah.
Like you say, the energy he brings, it's not just his ability, his pace and all the rest of it. He's a character.
Yeah.
And dressing rooms need characters, don't
100%.
they? Well, you were one yourself.
Yeah.
You still are.
Look at you guys twinning in your hoodies. Oh. These are available, by the way, on the shop, so make sure you pick one up. It's very, very nice. I have got one as well, but I opted for the shirt.
You've gone for the shirt.
I've gone for the shirt for the game as well.
Well, you could get your guns out. That was the idea.
Well, I've got to find them first. In any case, listen, the lights are coming on here at EdgBLASTon at the moment. Just turning into a lovely Friday evening here in Birmingham. I can see the kids lining up for with their flags ready for the game as well today. Like today's also the. It's a really big occasion because it's the first sort of big double header that we're doing here on Bears TV. It's also Rainbow Laces Day as well, as part of Warwickshire County Cricket Club's commitment to supporting the LGBTQ plus community and inclusion. And yeah, we're very excited to just have that part of the show, just make it a really welcoming environment, the stadium, for absolutely everybody who loves cricket. And we're going to get some high octane cricket as well, some big stars. These are the kind of players, when we talk about the likes of Moeen Ali, Sam Hain, Dan Mousley, they get a huge reception every time they come out here at EdgBLASTon as well. Like, they really feel like, in this modern world of sort of T20 mercenaries, they feel like players that belong to this team, Adam.
Yeah, they do. I mean, look, they are loved. When you become, the phrase "once a bear, always a bear," because you become loved. There's no two ways about it, isn't it? Whether you come back. I remember doing something here with Carlos Branthwaite, who I know you've been working with in the last few weeks, and I introduced him as a former bear, and he went, "Whoa, I'm not a former bear. Once you're a bear, you're always a bear."
There we go.
Which is a very valid point. But just welcoming back some of these players today, it will just give the dressing room a lift. It's going to give the supporters a lift. And yes, it's been a tough start. Scoring over 200 against Nottingham in the manner they did, you kind of thought, all right, we're in this game.
Yeah.
However, the bowling wasn't great. Against Durham, it was a dreadful start when you're 4 for 3, as they were. It's a long way back from 4 for 3.
I thought they recovered quite well. And let's talk about the man who led that recovery. Let's talk about Sam Hain a little bit. He's such a big player. I know you're a big fan of him as well, Recorder. Sam Hain, you've been watching him practicing a little bit earlier. But he brings something special to the team, doesn't he? Because he's almost like a classical, in this world of T20 power hitters and players looking to clear the fence. He's like a classical throwback player for me.
Yeah, 100%. I think last year we sat on comms and we watched him. The assuredness that he goes about his T20 batting with, and the calmness in what seems to be a helter-skelter format of bish, bash, bosh and trying to hit every ball for 6 and 4. He just seems to just ooze that element of calm and class, and somehow dissects the opposition without them even knowing that he's going to score massive runs like what he's done so far this year. Just before we go ahead, I think inclusion of Moeen Ali and
Hassan
Dan
Ali.
Mousley.
Oh, Dan Mousley, yeah, sorry.
Dan Mousley to the team. I think it means a lot because those guys are homegrown players from Warwickshire. I know that Moeen's gone and played for Worcester, but it will mean something today to just get that win on the board for the Bears. So alongside that, with performing Sam Hain, should bring the best out of those two guys as well.
The thing I love about Sam Hain is his ability to judge an innings. You're right. He plays the classical shots and he plays as he does. But when he knows it's time to put the foot on the accelerator, the way he goes about it, he switches it up just like that. And how that man has not played more for England, it's just timing, I think, for him, really.
Yeah, it's England's loss, and all that is Birmingham's game. He's very welcome back here, of course. Of course, the spotlight, we've been talking about the batters, is going to be very much on the bowlers early doors, who've, as we've sort of alluded to, had a tough time of it thus far in the season. I reckon we're going to see George Garton with the ball in hand, maybe Hassan Ali alongside him, maybe Ed Barnard gets another go with the ball as well early doors. We'll wait and see, but they really need a strong performance here, Adam, don't they, coming off the back of the first 2 matches?
Yeah, they do, and they're playing a Yorkshire side who are missing some stars. Bairstow picked up a little niggle, I think, while he's been away in the IPL. Obviously, there's no Root for them, there's no Harry Brook for them. So, I mean, you remove those 3 from the top order of Yorkshire, and yes, you've still got Lyth and Milan, but actually, those 3 names would have made a huge difference to any team. So, I think it's an opportunity today.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's been a good start to the day so far already. The Bears women have managed to win their game today. They've gone top of the table in the women's Vitality Blast with the 69-run win over Somerset. Can the men make it a double tonight and send the fans here at EdgBLASTon home happy? It's hard because I've got the southern accent, so I'd go EdgBLASTon. You wouldn't say EdgBLASTon.
Is it southern or is it posh?
I don't know. I'll take whatever's more in vogue right now. In any case, let's see how this all goes down. I'm going to leave Adam Bridge to take up commentary alongside Recorder.
Thank you very much, Artif. He will return soon. But here we go. We're almost ready to get ourselves underway with the second game of the day here on Bears TV. James Middlebrook and Tom Lungley are our 2 umpires for today. Out in the middle for Yorkshire, we seem to have David Milan and Will Luxton, who are the opening batters.
Change of opening partnership, Adam. I think
Adam Lyth would usually be out.
Yeah, 100%. So I think with Yorkshire missing those 3 big names that you called earlier on, I think they're a team a little bit in transition, looking to find their way into the tournament. And when you're missing a lot of senior players, asking this young man to step up tonight, I think it'd be a big one for us if we can get him going and then Get Adam Lyth out there nice and early.
Here comes George Garton then to get us underway. That's short into the body of Luxton immediately, but they get off the mark and get a first single. George Garton didn't bowl against Durham at the weekend, had a bit of a niggle. Aaron, he had a tough time against Notts, the Outlaws, last Friday night, didn't he?
He did, yes. Unfortunately, the Notts batters climbed into Garton's bowling early doors, so this is a big way for him to come back. It'd be great to get an early wicket, of course, that of Dawid Malan, who was Yorkshire's leading run scorer in the competition in 2024. He's the captain, he's the talisman, he's the glue that binds this Yorkshire outfit together. This is quite a big matchup, and if Garton can get his wicket early, the Bears will firmly feel as though they've got the big fish.
Yep, phenomenal T20 player, Dawid Malan, and he's caught on the edge and the hand, I think, by Garton straight away, and that's lively, Recorder.
That is very lively. A bit of away movement there off the seam from Garton. That's him at his best, I think. I think at times he runs in and he bowls really quick, but then there's times where he probably just gets his length a little bit wrong, and that's when the high quality players capitalise on it. I think bowling here to this shorter leg side boundary to Dawid, we know Malan loves that pick up off his hip, so it's very important that he gets his length right, especially if the ball's nipping around.
The left arm of Garton. Good start with his first two. A little bit straighter this time and on the stumps.
Looking for that shape again. Malan just tucks it into the leg side, gets a quick single.
What would you say is his natural length, Ricardo? Because we always hear that phrase, a bowler kind of has a natural length. For George, what are you saying that is? Just short of a good length?
Not to get too technical about it. I think that length from like 6 meters to 7 meters is about him, and if a real push, he can probably go at 5.5. But for those who understand it, yeah. So I could say back of a length. Here he comes again. Get back into it. Like that length is, I find for him is probably a bit too full. You could guys who naturally shape the ball a little bit more, maybe get a little bit more movement through the air, can go a little bit fuller. But for him, someone who looks to hit the deck, I think when he goes up there, it gets a bit too floaty.
Well, Luxton took advantage there. He moves on to 2 and 3 without loss. We are 4 overs into the first over. The floodlights are on. Bit of cloud around. There was a bit of a worry of a shower might find its way across, but that seems to have abated. And hopefully we're in for a clear evening of cricket.
Oh, beautiful movement. Yeah.
Nice shape.
Beautiful movement. I think you wouldn't want to go any fuller than that at any format in the game. So I think if he goes any fuller than that, I think Malan ain't going to sit back and just allow him to bowl here. It's interesting with the field sets that they've got. I find this new field set quite interesting in the modern day game. Normally they'd probably have a third or fine back, but they haven't opted for that, gone for the 2 deep sweepers. And here he goes again, and it nips away sharply from Garton. What a wonderful start.
Yeah, it's a really nice over that, isn't it? Just 3 singles from it, from George Garton. And beating the bat of Dawid Malan on a couple of occasions, and of Luxton as well. So 3 without loss at the end of the first over. And this is the moment we've all been waiting for. After he burst onto the scene as a bear, Hassan Ali, he may be back with slightly longer hair, and he's gone for the ponytail as well. He's gone for the ponytail.
Pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
He's a cool guy all round.
Yeah, he is really a pretty cool guy. The locks just waving in the wind as he bustles in.
It was interesting, Mom, because I think they thought they were going to get him all season. They had kind of reassurances from Pakistan that he wasn't going to be playing international cricket, but as ever, there's a change of thought process in Pakistan international cricket. That doesn't happen too often. So he's back in the fold. Just look at the replay there of Dawid Malan just flexing that thumb that got caught by that quick ball from Garton. But here comes Ali. And
good. That looked like good speed from here. We're sitting directly below the bowler's arm. You know, sometimes when you sit square the wicket, gives you that false evidence of how quick the bowler is, but that ball looked like it hit the back quite hard there of Luxton, who prodded forward. Looked like it hit up into the sticker, so it's going to be quite interesting prospect for this young man to try and hit Hassan Ali off this length if he holds that length really well.
Here he comes again. That's a bit too straight, and it's worked into the leg side by Luxton well. And it's the first boundary of the innings. And it comes for Luxton.
Yeah, as you said there, Adam, got a bit too straight, trying to look for probably a little bit too much movement with that new ball.
How many T20 wickets has he delivered for us so far?
Well, it's funny you say that, because I was actually going to give you an even better stat than that.
Oh, okay.
So in terms of strike rate, so when it comes to bowling strike rate, I'll touch upon this after this ball from Hassan Ali.
Do you tease us for that? That's fine. Oh, similar ball, similar job as well. May get cut off this time. There is a sprint on that leg side, and it's well retrieved in the end. Good piece of fielding.
Kai Smith out there at deep forward square, just ran around pretty well.
Go on then, you've teased us.
So yes, he's got 19 wickets in 10 matches for the Bears, but you look at the bowling strike rate, so the number of deliveries it's taken him to get a wicket, it's 11.10. That is the 5th best in the history of this club.
Oh, wow. Here he is again. I would say bustling him, but he's a bit quicker than that. Oh, and he's been drilled for 4. Just over-pitched. Not the right length.
Nah, I think the first ball he bowled, I said if he hit that length 2 or 3 times, it would have been quite interesting to see how the Luxton would have gone about trying to get him off that length. But since then, he's gone a bit too straight, gone a bit too full. I think typical fast bowler, ball's moving around. We look to go a little bit fuller. Who dares wins, I suppose.
That was I thinking you'd be part of the union. That's better.
That length.
Yeah.
I think T20 cricket, that length. I am a part of the union. I said we fast bowlers, Adam. We fast bowlers. I am not exempt.
I didn't think
from,
union members ever turned on each other.
Yeah. We fast bowlers. I am a part of it, and I will go down with the ship even when it's sinking.
So 10 off the first 5 deliveries from Hassan Ali's over. In terms of the fielders that are out, we've got boundary riders. There's a kind of deep cover point. Oh, there's a lot of movement there, isn't there? And a deep square leg as well. And that's going to be a dot ball.
Oh, holding Garton.
Yeah, and that's the end
Bringing
of
the spin on.
And 2 overs gone, 13 without loss.
Spin's coming on.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
Team without loss, then after 2 overs, Danny Briggs is into the attack early for the Bears to David Malan. I'm thinking there, Mayfield, this is quite a good matchup, maybe. Ooh. And there, maybe it was a perfect matchup. Tried to sweep him, and Alex Davis with terrific glove work, but he's not out.
Different prospect this for Malan with a new ball. Some might spin, one might skid on. We've got the deep backward square and the deep mid wicket out, so it's a big challenge for him to try hit it.
Oh, and he's missed it again. Aaron smirking when I mentioned matchup. There's probably a good reason for that.
There's a very good reason. This has got Warwickshire analyst James Maybe's hands all over it, because last season Danny Briggs got the wicket of David Malan in both matches, and there's more to that as Briggs bowls here too. Malan again keeping him on his toes on that occasion. If you look at the last 5 matches between the Bears and Yorkshire, he's gone out to spin in every single one of them. 2 to Briggs, 1 to Mousley, 1 to Lintott, 1 to Glenn Maxwell. This is very much the utilisation of modern matchups from the home side.
It is good as well. 3 deliveries gone in the over from Danny Briggs, just a single from it, so it's stopped the runs as well. He'll now bowl to Luxton though. I mean, David Malan 2 off 7. You don't see that too often.
He's not having the best start. I didn't really want to say it on comms because you know those things can backfire on you.
They can sometimes.
Yeah, but he hasn't had the best start. You can see him like he's very frustrated with himself. I watched the highlights of the game the last game that Yorkshire played, and he's not quite happy today. He's bashing his pads with the bat, so that's not a sign of a man quite content with his work.
Oh, he's just got gloves on that, I think.
Snuck down the leg side there, wide ball.
He's given that as a wide. I thought there was a bit of either pad or gloves on that, but no.
Interesting field, this deep backward square and a long on, so he's probably looking to cramp him, giving him no room.
And that's just caught him a little bit. Just threw the shot a little bit too quickly.
It's a brilliant start here from the Bears. Could just close this over out now, 16 off 3.
Take that
in the power play,
Yep.
Even better if we get Malan out and then get Adam Lyth and then send him back home. So be a lot of pressure on that batting lineup.
Well, cut away, really nice that from David Malan. Doesn't quite get out the over without a scar. Danny Briggs goes for 7 in the end, and they move on to 20 without loss at the end of the 3rd over. So I guess the question then was, do they revert for spin at the other end? And the answer is yes, they do. Now he's fresh from his terrific 100 for the England A against India, the England Lions. Terrific. And so chuffed for him as well. It was a super 100 too for Dan Mousley.
He's playing some really good cricket at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He is, and he gets his chance now with the ball. He got left out of the last couple of county championship games, which I think probably stung a little bit.
Yeah.
But here's his chance with a white ball, and I mean, how many times has he delivered for the Bears in this format with both ball and bat?
He's been a standout player over the last 2 years, hasn't he? And I think it's great when a county and a club can have homegrown players that produce at the highest level, and he's been that way. We know he's got a hit there over the top there. Luxton, great shot, standing strong at the crease. Moeen Ali runs over to him, and this is what's fantastic, I think, about the Bears squad, like what they've got now. The experience of Moeen Ali there at mid-off, just having a little word with Dan, just letting him know, thinking about how we're going to go about bowling at this Luxton here, because I think with the pace that Mousley bowls the new ball, it probably just skids on into the bat really well.
That's a wide. Alex Davis did well to get some gloves on that, really.
See the plan. You can see the plan here. Look to cramp him for room, get him to hit it into the leg side. Luxton just stepping away. Might have to hold on to the ball a bit longer. There it is, just like that. Ooh. That's what he's looking to do there, Adam. Luxton looking to back away, open up the offside. Dan bowling it quick and fast into his pads. Obviously got the short 45 here, nice and fine. Looking for the ramp if he just tried to ramp it. So he's trying to say to him, go on and have a dip over mid-on, mid-off.
61 miles an hour. Another wide.
That was that bouncer that he bowled.
That was 70 miles an hour. So he's popped an extra 10 on that. 26 without loss in the 4th over. Mousley again. That's gone up.
That's in the air.
It
it's going to take some catching. And
no,
it's gone all the way.
All the way. There was no chasing that one down, despite Garton going after it and Latham as well. Just too much on it. Danny Briggs just coming up to Alex Davis to have a word with his thoughts. Senior pros and the captain, of course. 12 off the first 3 legitimate deliveries of the over, so need to get a handle on this. Alex Davis just shuffling around the field on the leg side. That's a better length that time from Mousley, and he parries it off his own bowling. Just one more to the total. Phil, with the number of runs that have gone, unless he can maybe grab the wicket of Milan Hill, this is going to be an over that's the plan that's not quite worked out for them.
Yeah, I find it quite interesting. I think, sometimes you're playing the game and you're out there, you get a different feel for the game, or you go into a game with a plan. I think maybe with seeing the swing that was on offer, maybe give Garton another one, because we got as he comes in here, bowls it quickly, well fielded there by Sam Hain at backward point. I think with the spin bowling on offer in the middle overs, maybe capitalise a little bit more on that new ball that was swinging a little bit, and give your seamers one more each, and then we could have opened the play a little bit more after that, and then bring your Dan Moses on that bowls it a bit quicker.
Yeah, he's got out of that over well with 2 dot balls at the end of the over there for Dan Mousley, speeding that over up to 70 miles an hour, varying a lot. 33 without loss from the opening 4 overs. Danny Briggs is going to get a second here. How many wickets are we on for Danny Briggs now in terms of his T20 last career?
Well,
250, we have 250?
We're past 250 for the great man Danny Briggs. 252 and the economy rate of 7.21. If there ever was an icon in the bowling departments, it's this man right here.
Certainly is.
He's got him!
Talking about that. There he goes. It's Luxton that he's picked up. He may have been on for the matchup with Milan, but Luxton is wiped out by Danny Briggs. 33 for 1. Briggs strikes number 253 of his career.
That was a clever piece of bowling. I think just watching the previous over and watching how Dan went about it. Danny just holding it back a little bit more there, not bowling it as quick. Luxton fancying the hit over long on, just got suckered in. If you see it here on the replay, there, bang, and he's bowled.
So often that leg stump ends up adjusted by Danny Briggs, for sure.
See, oh, this angle is even better. You can see how that ball just held up in the air really well there from Danny Briggs.
Adam Live does come to the crease then with the score on 33. As we get into this 5th over, 33 for 1. The breakthrough, as so often is the case, comes courtesy of Danny Briggs. Reminder as well, if you are watching our stream, then don't forget to click on the old thumbs up, give us a like, and you can send your comments in as well throughout the evening. Get the best of those up to.
Yeah, this makes life a little bit easier. 2 left-handers, less moving around in the field. But it's Adam Live, so we all know the quality of player that he is. Yorkshire's leading run scorer so far this year in the Blast. So
Garton doing the fielding that time. 1 more to the total. Interesting, he's changed his angle of approach here to Milan, different to what he had for Adam Live.
Is it a catch? Catch it!
And after it. Oh, with one hand was Garton, but I think he may have got his fingertips to it, but there was no stopping that. And it's 6 more for Milan, should I say. He moves on to 12. And Yorkshire on to 40 for 1.
I don't know whether it looks like it was a great effort, but from the lads' body language, it looked like he probably should have done a little bit better, but it was a great effort by the replay.
Maybe there was a parry on.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have probably led to a catch, but at least may have stopped some of the runs. Garton usually
quite athletic.
Lively in field, yeah, he is, isn't he? Sort of wonderful catch this afternoon from Laura Harris when the Bears were fielding against Somerset. Really
what a player
superb.
she is.
Oh. And lovely to meet her afterwards as well. I mean, runs today, terrific catch. He's got some ability, that's for sure. 42 for 1.
Runs in the family, doesn't it? Laura Harris, Grace Harris.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Grace doing quite well down at Surrey as well.
Yeah.
So, last ball of the 5th over. Score on 42 for 1. And that's going to be fielded at the edge of the circle by that man, Sam Hain, as ever, in that familiar 16. And Ricardo is going to depart for a moment, and he'll be back a little bit later. In the meantime, we welcome Atif Nawaz back into the chair.
Better put my jumper on, it's quite nippy out there.
Oh, you've been out again?
Yeah.
Filling up nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lovely atmosphere outside, and it's just very, very, very just like there's a buzz about it. I think people are aware that there's some stars on display today. Some of the big players have come back. People are acutely aware of that, and also just listening through the sort of concourse. And of course, Bears TV is being blasted around the concourse, so everybody can. If you're by the TVs right now and you can hear us, give a wave to the screen. You don't have to. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Okay. Mousley is in again. Oh, that's a lovely shot, actually. That's done really well by Milan. He tried to tuck him up, and it felt almost unorthodox, that shot from Milan, but he's somehow managed to spring it off the bat for a 4.
Yeah, it's a terrific shot, isn't it, from David Milan. He's such an underrated player, really. He's not a million not hundreds of years ago when he was #1 in the T20 World Rankings.
Yeah, he's quite a talent for sure, and it's him that's brought about this spin attack, you feel. He's going to get 1 more here. He moves on to 19, the score on to 48 for 1. Start of the 6th over.
Do you know, a few seasons ago I interviewed David Milan, and I told him that he was in my fantasy team.
Okay.
For that season's, in one of the fantasy competitions, and he was, oh really, am I okay? Better sort it out. And he got 100 the next game, got 70 the following game, and an 80 on the 3rd game.
And he all did it just to help you out?
I think it was just for me.
That's fantastic.
I think so. What a man.
Live on strike, and he just defends that one out from Mousley from the far end. Holly's filling up nicely, is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lovely atmosphere. It's not by any means a full house or anything like that today, but people really enjoying themselves Friday night under the lights here at EdgBLASTon.
Live Far more conservative, really, than what we've seen so far. 48 for 1. 2 balls to come. Already gone for 18 from his 10 deliveries so far, but much better over this one from Mousley. There's a half an appeal from Dan and kind of subdued one from Alex Davis, who gave up on it fairly quickly, but it does mean it's another dot ball. Just 5 off this over, much better.
Yeah, just a little inside edge that time, which is why there was a stifled appeal, but good bit of bowling.
Last one of the over. And just reaches that chance for a run out! Oh, how tight is that? The umpire perfectly positioned, but his finger's not going up. There's a shake of the head, and he can't believe it. I think, was it Tom Latham with the throw?
I'm not
Was
sure.
it Jake Lintott, maybe?
Well, whoever was brilliantly captured by the cameraman, I've got to say, he got on that the perfect angle to make it look as cinematic as possible. It was really tight. It looked really tight. Let's take a look at it from that angle. Oh, it was much the umpire was very sort of quick to say not out. That looked close. I mean, warrants a few replays if you're asking me.
Yeah, that wasn't too far away, was it? No two way. Ooh. It's a close call, but he survives. 49 for 1 then after 6 overs. Jake Lintott is coming into the attack, and he's coming in from this pavilion end. So they really have decided that Milan very much is susceptible to spin, haven't they?
It does seem like they've committed to this methodology, but they have so many dearth of spinners available to them, so why not?
The ball looked like it was moving really nicely, though, for Hassan and for George Garton. That's a wide, and another one to the total. Brings up the 50. By the way, power play score there, 49 for 1, Aaron. So not the greatest power play ever.
No, but I think that's quite solid, to be honest. Usually here at EdgBLASTon, you're looking for around about 50, so
Okay.
not too bad.
I can be a bit harsh. Lintott slightly down the leg side again, but this time there is bat on it, and it'll just be 1 more to the total.
Yeah, we get the feeling that, I mean, you sort of get spoiled with power plays these days, don't we, in T20 cricket? Like sort of like 80s and 90s, hundreds even in power play.
Particularly when you're watching England.
Yeah, well, they're going quite well. I've gathered. I'll give you a score update. Well, maybe we can get a score update from Aaron later, but curious to see how they're getting on over there.
He'll be squirreling away in the corner trying to find that for us right now, I'm sure. Reversed, beautifully reversed. We've seen that shot from Milan so many times, time and time again. It's effortless. He doesn't even get down to complete the sweep, does he?
No, but what's really impressive is it was in front of square. So the reverse sweep you sort of expect just a little bit in front of square. He basically hit that to deep extra cover. It's just a tremendous shot.
Score moves on to 55. Milan on to 23. Bit more air this time from Lintott. And it will be 1 more to the total. 56 for 1. Partnership of 23. Neither scored 4 of those.
People talk about the Bears being motivated, which obviously they are in this game, but so are Yorkshire. They're sitting at the bottom of the points table at the moment.
Lintott once more. He's made some room for himself. Full toss, and well, Lythe almost getting the toe end of that and poking it straight to a fielder, but they will get 1 for it.
I think it's Hassan Ali at cover who thought he might have been in business
no
there
ball.
for a second.
No ball.
For height.
3 hits, yeah.
Yeah, it's just one that slipped out of the hand, that one from Lintott. Maybe a little bit of moisture about.
It is going to be a free hit, which Milan is now on strike for, so could prove costly, this. This could prove costly.
It's a free hit as well, isn't it? So there's no chance of getting out.
Unless it's a run out.
Unless it's a run out, yes, of course, yeah.
You really wouldn't take that risk on a free hit, would you? It's Lintott in, and he goes back down the ground. Well, the umpire took evasive action, and I'm really pleased he did. That throw comes in, and it's not far from the stumps, but they have completed the 2. Wow. The umpire had to be quick there, didn't he?
He did. He moved like Neo in the Matrix there just to try and avoid that ball. It really came back hard at him. It was a good ball, actually, from Jake Lintott, because it wasn't. I think from a free hit, you're usually looking to go square of the wicket, aren't you? You want to just clear. But it was sort of fired in a little bit and very difficult, cramped the batter for room. All he could really do was manufacture a shot down the ground.
Surely you get taught that at umpire school, how to avoid the ball that's fired straight back at you in that manner.
Some of them have that glass shield as well.
They do now,
the
yeah.
shield protector thingy.
I don't think it was a shield for the face I was worried about in that instance, to be brutally honest with you. And that completes the... no, we've got one more to come because of the no ball, yeah. 13 off the over so far from Lintott, 62 for 1 as we approach the end of the 7th over. It's been expensive. It'll be capped off nicely with a wicket, but that's cut away by Lyth. I think they're going to go for 2 here, and they will get back for the second quite comfortably, and that completes the over. 7 gone, and Yorkshire are 64 for 1.
Did OHD go to BCU?
I don't know why.
He was in the thing. He was in the.
Oh,
He was in the ad there.
maybe he's gone back there as a mature student.
Maybe, yeah, it's possible. Or a professor, visiting professor.
Well, he could be a professor, couldn't he? Just sheer size and height
Yeah.
makes you feel he's professor-like. Mousley Ali is into the attack. The beard who is feared. He's gone for a single first up. So Mousley with us for the first part of the summer, potentially longer if the Bears were to get further into the competition.
He's grown out his hair as well, Moeen. He's was sporting the sort of the grade 1 look previously, but he's opted to grow it back in.
If only I could do that. It would be nice. But nonetheless, 65 for 1 as things stand. Lyth is on 7, Milan on 28. Little reverse, but it's straight to the fielder. And it's the athleticism of Kai Smith. I think one of the games, did he go? Is it the county championship game where he played and he kept in one innings and Davis kept in the other, didn't they?
Yes, that was in the championship.
Joy of having wicket keepers galore in your team.
Well, England could do that as well, couldn't they, these days? Different keeper every 5 overs.
Well, that's in the air. Now that's a chance, and that's going to be taken, and it is taken brilliantly. And Lyth has gone for 7, and the Bears have their second winning wicket, and it's, I think, Jake Lintott with the catch. And Lyth is on his way, and it's 65 for 2.
Yeah, he knew the second he hit that he was in trouble. Adam Lyth. It was there for it. It was a bit of a long hop from Moeen, just maybe a little bit fuller than a sort of full-fledged short ball, but it was definitely there for the ball shot. Just mistimed it, got a top edge, just floated in the air, and he knew it. The second that ball went in the air, he knew that he was a goner, and it's a big wicket for the Bears. He's a player who can really be very effective. Well held as well by Jake Lintott, as you say. It's a straightforward catch, but as you mentioned before, we do see them go down more and more these days. But big wicket for Moeen, who's made an immediate impact in that barrage of spinners. Finally offering a little bit of... well, actually, I suppose it was Briggs who got the first wicket as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
So the spinners spin to win here for the Bears.
And if you're wondering where OHD was, we just saw him run onto the field carrying the drinks.
Yeah.
He's in the squad for this weekend, so he's in the squad as well for Sunday's game, so you never know, we may see him. Moeen gets a wicket, which is good, and the new batsman is James Wharton, with the score on 65 for 2. We'll see if Aaron's got any dirt on James Wharton he wants to share with us in a moment or two. That's going to be off the mark for him with his first ball.
I wouldn't say dirt, actually. This is a very good stat. So he's played 2 matches against the Bears. He scored 33 runs with a strike rate of 206.25, which is his best strike rate against any opponents in T20 cricket. He's very, very destructive, very explosive, and I'll tell you more about him after this delivery.
Has he got him? Is he got him? No. I think Alex Davis whipped the bails off, but Milan was still in his crease.
Yeah, he was. Go on, tell us more.
Well, this is the stats. He's only been dismissed by spin once in his last 12 T20 innings.
Yeah.
Would you like to guess who the spin bowler was he's playing tonight?
Danny Briggs.
Spot on.
This is not a rough guess with the amount of wickets he's taken. He's probably got everyone by now, hasn't he? Thank you for that. And I do call it dirt, you see, because that's how it feels when we cross over to you for information. I feel like I'm asking for dirt on people that I've not bothered to investigate myself.
See, I feel more like I'm sort of talking to an AI bot or something, you know what I mean? Like, so, you know?
Yes, it is a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Like an AI assistant, virtual assistant. That was a nice piece of work on the boundary by Garton, by the way, just to keep it down to a single. And this is a good little phase for the Bears after that second wicket. I think they got themselves back into the flow of the game, and they could still hold Yorkshire back a little bit.
Well, just 4 off that over from Mousley Ali. So, I mean, that's just stemmed the tide a little bit because Lintott had gone for quite a few in the over before. Lintott's going to continue. So it is continuing spin. So despite that movement we saw from Garton and Hassan Ali, Barnard's obviously available to bowl as well. They've absolutely decided that its spin is the way.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll get to see Hassan Ali or Garton bowl again at this rate in the innings.
Wharton's on strike, 68 for 2. And he's drilled that with some power back at Lintott. I like the sound of his bat.
Sounds like a good bat.
Yeah,
Did they put that through the bat cage?
I hope they have, yeah. I'll explain a little as to what Artif's referring to on that one in a moment.
Ooh.
But that's after he's swept that to the boundary and beyond for 6 runs for Wharton. Effortless with that big bat of his. And the ropes cleared once more. A real battle here for Jake Lintott.
Yeah, it was a terrific shot. We just heard as well that he is an explosive player. He likes to go after it. Didn't have a ton of room, but he manufactured a great shot.
Here he is again. Just lets that go. Thinking it may have been wide, and he just makes the point to the umpire by rehearsing a shot way outside what are the tram lines that are used as the guide for a wide ball or not. 74 for 2, midway through the 9th over. One more for the total. So in the women's game earlier this afternoon, Millie Taylor actually came out to bat and was told that she couldn't use the bat because it was too big. It
wouldn't fit in the bat gauge, which is a new sort of measuring device that all match officials must carry to check the size of the bat, according to Law 5 of the MCC's Laws of the Game.
That's only Law 5.
That's only Law 5, I know, right? They got to bat sizes quickly, didn't they?
I was going to say, given the amount of laws there are. So it causes a little bit of delay, and poor old Millie had to use a different bat, one that wasn't her own, and hers was confiscated, which was quite a moment with the umpire taking it to the headmaster's classroom and locking it away.
Yeah,
and you can have it at the end of school.
Match manager, well, this is the thing, I don't think she gets it back. Match manager takes control of it and has the responsibility of taking it out of circulation. This is, of course, a sort of bat weight and bat size issue, is one that goes across standards in cricket.
Indeed. That's a straighter ball. And it's going to be one more to the total as we complete over number 9. 78 for 2 as things stand. Don't forget, if you'd like to pass us comments, or we would love you to go for the old thumbs up. You can do a double thumbs up, as Artif is doing alongside me right now.
Yeah.
Can you do double thumbs up on YouTube?
Well, you could like it twice, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, maybe you could do it with 2 different accounts.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But we'll take all of those, so don't forget to do that.
But don't actually do a double thumbs up, because what it actually does is it takes the thumbs up away. So don't do that. Don't do that.
It's all far too confusing. Right, we're approaching the midway point of this Yorkshire innings. 78 for 2 as things stand. Here's the danger man on strike, Milan, who obviously has been a teammate of Mousley Ali's for a long time.
They're very good friends as well. They're very good friends. They get on quite well on and off the pitch. Just really friendly with each other. So this will be an intriguing battle.
Is there anyone Mousley isn't friends with? Because he just seems a friendly, likeable guy who's happy with everyone, really.
Yeah,
there probably are some.
Yeah.
We won't go on that controversial tip.
79 for 2. I think that's a really good little comeback this from the Bears. Of course, it's still precarious with Milan on 34 on 26. He could, accelerate really quickly, and Wharton we know is a big hitter of the ball, but for the moment the Bears have just pulled themselves back in this game.
Oh, there is that Wharton again. Got plenty of it. That boundary rope is in quite a bit, and that's another big 6 for Wharton. Cleared the ropes with ease.
It really was with ease as well, because it was just sort of like a short-arm jab down the ground. Like, he doesn't have a massive backswing to it. It's all power, and it's all his forearms that manoeuvres the ball down the ground.
14 from 6 deliveries now for Wharton. Good ball from Hassan Ali to respond, just forcing him back there.
I do like the look of Wharton. He's very powerful and he's very acutely aware of his own strength. It's a challenge for most bowlers because you put it on a length and he can send you.
Moeen again. This one shorter. And turn round the corner just for a single. Garton again, the fielder. And that's one more ball to come in the over.
Yeah, it's just that short one actually worked out for Moeen. He managed to get him off strike. I think just the little I've seen of him, Wharton, he strikes me as the kind of player who's very strong down the ground.
Moeen again, and it's going to be one more to the total. So we'll reach the midway point. 87 for 2 will be the score for Yorkshire so far. Aaron, Milan is on 35. What's his high score against the Bears? Are we looking at a decent number?
Yeah, pretty decent number to be honest, and a very decent cricketer as well. Just before we get on to the chat about Milan though, I want to touch upon James Wharton because he is the man in focus at the minute. In terms of his career boundary percentage, so the amount of runs that he's scored over the course of this career so far that have come from 4s and 6s, it stands at 64.5%. It's the second highest figure of any of the Yorkshire batting options, behind only Adam Lyth. So just to echo that point that Artif made earlier, very punchy, very destructive, very explosive. He is going to be an absolute danger for the Bears here.
Briggs is into the attack again and cut away. Brilliant bit of fielding, and we'll restrict it to just the single on the boundary. Super bit of fielding.
Yeah, good stuff. They're just in front of the Hollies as well. Can be a little bit distracting at times, as everybody knows, but they've got to stay in control here, the Bears. These two batters can up the ante very quickly. I like this move to get Briggs back in the action, though.
Going to be one more to the total. Turned round the corner. Milan's high score, by the way, just out of curiosity, is on 36 now.
Yep, I'll just get it up for you now, Adam.
Okay.
I do like the cramping of the angle from Briggs, just trying to tie up Milan. Milan is sort of slightly different to Wharton in the sense that he likes to play across the wicket.
Good shot. He's not going to get the reward probably he deserves for it. Just be one. He's on 37. Wharton on 16. Score ticks over to 90.
So people sort of think of Ben Duckett as England's perpetual sweeper now, but that title was previously held by Milan. He was a fine exponent of that shot.
Oh, that's a good ball. That's got to be close. Just probably going down the leg side.
Oof. That looked really close for me, you know. He pinned him back on the crease. But he wasn't too much more into that appeal. I thought they might really fancy that.
In again. Oh, he's dissected the gap there, Wharton. That's brilliant. Just the despairing dive. But he couldn't quite get there to cut that one out. And it's run away for 4. Just, again, picking your spot perfectly.
Yeah, terrific shot that as well. All power from Wharton. He's got so much natural power and a really good bat, I have to say. Because he didn't try and hit the ball too hard. It just made contact and the surface did the rest.
Last ball of the over from Briggs, outside edge of the bat. There'll be no run. And that will complete over number 11. And the score moves on to 94 for 2. Nine overs of the Yorkshire innings remain then. Milan is on 37, Wharton on 20, and it's Milan who's on strike, and he's got all of that, no doubt about it. And 6 more for Milan, who moves on to 43 from 30 deliveries. It also brings up the 100 for Yorkshire.
Yeah, it's a terrific shot from David Milan. It's a good area to go after Moeen as well, to try and go down the ground. You know the ball's not going to turn a huge amount, so if you can get somewhere near the pitch of the ball, pretty safe to go down the ground. So powerful, these two. always back themselves to clear the fence.
Yeah, 35-run partnership here from 22 balls, so just starting to tick over really nicely. And there he goes again. He swept that one square, and it's beyond his... Oh, what a brilliant piece of fielding that is. Jake Lintott, absolutely magnificent. Couldn't take the catch, but he's saved 6 runs.
That's an unbelievable effort. You see the relay catches taken these days. This ball was travelling, and if you look at the trajectory of it, there's no way to relay this back in. He's just done so well to save 6 for his team. Terrific effort from Lintott on the boundary to just parry that ball back into the field of play.
Turned out to be just a single. Brings Wharton back on strike. Oof, and he's... I don't know what that's hit. Well, let's see from the umpire whether that was bat, pad. Well, no, he's come off the bat. Just going to be 1 to the total. Oh.
No, it's
No,
been given by afterwards.
So it was off Alex Davies?
It was off Alex Davies, yeah. Didn't take anything. I sort of think it'd be a wide then, wouldn't you? But never mind.
Oh, you'd have thought so. 1 and 2 for 2. Oh, and down the leg side again, and it's just playing into Milan's area, really. And that brings up a 50 for David Milan, does it? Yes, it does. Off 32 balls, 108 for 2. The score moves on to... Aaron, what's the numbers on that 50?
Yes, so in terms of the 50, comes from 32 deliveries, striking 156, includes 3 fours, 3 sixes. His second 50 in a row against the Bears, on top of his previous best of 54.
Well, he's got that in his sights right now. Moves on to 51. And the plan to bring the spinners on to tie him up and get rid of him. Maybe it's time to try something different, potentially.
Yeah, I think you might see Seamers come into play pretty rapidly now, starting to line up the spinners, as you say, and nearly took out our cameraman with that 6 that got him his 50. Did well, our cameraman, to just pivot, just avoid the ball. Just save the lens, buddy, save the lens, they're expensive.
Fetched by Wharton this time. And it's 1 more to the total, and that completes the 12th over. 110 for 2 as things stand. Milan on 51, Wharton on 21, and partnership up to 45. And I mean, this is wicket time. Hassan Ali has got the ball in hand.
Yeah, I thought we might see a seamer pretty much pronto at that point. I think even Alex Davies is pretty early clocked on that it was time to move away from the spinners. Both batters have settled. They've picked up the spin. They feel quite comfortable going after them. Milan's got to his half century. Wharton is hitting 6s for fun, so you got to change something up. So throw the ball to your overseas fast bowler. See if he can deliver you the breakthrough that you want. Break this partnership. Hassan Ali, desperado look, as the recorder called him. He's bang on, isn't he? He does look a bit like a Pakistani Antonio Banderas.
Yes, he does. Who's he married to? Melanie Griffiths, was it? Antonio Banderas was married to?
I don't know.
No.
We'll ask the stats guy.
I'm not sure he knows about things like that.
What?
I don't
What stats person worth their salt?
I don't think that's in his realms. What was Melanie Griffiths married to Don John? Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
We're living in the past here.
I couldn't tell
Stuff
you.
that only I know and you probably don't.
I just like
'Cause you're too young.
Puss in Boots.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah,
That's his
Antonio
character,
Banderas,
isn't it? Yeah.
And the guy from Desperado, the El Mariachi.
111 for 2.
I'll have to ask Hassan at some point if that's where the inspiration comes from, or if he's thinking sort of David Beckham in the early 2000s.
I was going to say, it's not really a ponytail, is it?
No.
It's like a little tail up
Top
the top, and then,
The top knot.
But it's not on the top, though, is it? It's on the back. Look at the flowing hair behind that.
80% knot.
That's better. Just restricting them. Just to clarify, we had 10 overs a spin. Was that 10 over a spin on the bounce?
Yes, it was, from over 3 up to over number 13, which is this one. Something else to just be aware of, David Milan on 52 at the minute. Before this game, he was 71 runs away from 10,000 career T20 runs. So
wow.
He's 19 runs short of what would be a very special milestone.
Oh, that's lovely. It's a lovely shot from Wharton. He's just used his feet. He's come down, really, at Hassan Ali and just scooped him over his shoulder.
Yeah, and it brought up the 50 partnership between this pair as well. Terrific shot. They've both been so inventive out in the middle, and both shared almost equally in this 50 partnership. 26 for Wharton, 24 for Milan. They've really just upped the ante here and now put Birmingham Bears under a bit of pressure here, I would say, because after those 2 early wickets, they've really rescued things, and they're going at nearly 10 and over. So they'll be eyeing up a 200-esque total here at EdgBLASTon, and the Bears have got some work to do to prevent that happening.
I was going to say, suddenly they're just ticking round at 9 on 10 and over, isn't it? It's so we're looking at something in the realms of 200, you'd think. 116 for 2. Hassan Ali. Bears need a wicket. Can he deliver? Now he's pulled into the leg side with some power. It's well fielded. It's a good stop on this boundary by Dan Mousley. He's taken a chunk of EdgBLASTon with him as well.
Well, he's trying to put it back. He's trying to do some gardening.
He says, I'm not going to bother.
Listen, Gary Barwell's not going to be happy, man. Get that, change that shot quickly. Gary Barwell, the head of turf management, is not going to like that.
A couple of divots like that. That's not dissimilar to what I pull up at the golf course. I just tend to toss them away as well. Short ball from Hassan Ali, but acceptable. No, I thought that was okay.
I thought that was okay as well. I think it's a little bit of a harsh call. The standing umpire did look at the square leg umpire to see if what he thought was, but he gave him the signal straight away. Hassan's a little bit frustrated. It also goes down as the second short ball for the over. So he's running out of options a little bit here, Hassan. I think he might try and look for Yorkers, but the problem is if you don't execute it with pinpoint accuracy against a batter like Milan, he can ramp you for 6 very easily.
8 from the over so far. That's full, and it's driven beautifully through the covers for 4 by David Milan, who's on to his highest score against the Bears.
He is indeed, yep, moves on to that now. So this is his best score against the Bears in T20 cricket. It's funny actually you mention, Artif, about the ramps and the scoops. It's something which James Wharton is very much known for. It's something which he displayed outstandingly in his century against Worcestershire at Headingley in 2023. So something else to watch out for in terms of field placements for the Bears tonight.
Last ball of this 13th over, and he almost chopped on Milan, but into his pads, and now sneak through for one more. And that completes the 13th over, 123 for 2. Milan on 57, Wharton on 27, and a really good partnership of 58 here, Artif.
Yeah, they're batting well together, these two. They've put Yorkshire in a very, very good position. This is a heck of a platform for Yorkshire to work with. Of course, from the Bears' perspective, all they need to think about is breaking this partnership, bringing in a new batter, taking some time, taking some runs out of that expected score at this stage, because at the moment they're looking well in excess of 200 with each wicket the Bears take, especially if they can break this partnership. They can just that phase of a new batter trying to get themselves in, that's where they can squeeze some runs out. I did like that last ball from Hassan Ali, just quite brave to bowl length after being dispatched through the covers and just to be able to execute it well. Nearly got the reward, as you say, off the inside edge, but I think he'll be raring to go and come back and bowl the next over. Although for now, I think we're going back to spin.
We are. Dan Mousley. I mean, the story really is no Root, no Brook, no Bairstow, no problem for Yorkshire, isn't it, really? 123 for 2. Mousley back in.
I mean, this is an astoundingly cheeky shot. He was trying to ramp the ball without moving. So, I mean, you often see people play ramp shots. They get themselves into position. They look very focused. Like, he looked like he was playing a trick shot in his back garden, David Milan.
All the confidence in the world.
I know, but I don't think it was appreciated by the bowler or keeper, if I'm honest.
Well, he's played a real shot that time, down the ground. And again, that bit of relay fielding restricts it to 2. For Milan, he moves on to 59, 125 for 2.
Yeah, this Birmingham Bears team has some of the best outfielding, I would say, in the T20 Blast. Just so strong along that turf.
Well, you'd say there's certainly no demons in this wicket, is there?
No, and Mousley's discovered that. So Mousley's just punching it in full and fast as he possibly can. He's sort of done quite well with that delivery over the years. The one that he fires in, doesn't give the batter any room, and challenges them to try and clear long on or long off. Or just doesn't let it go.
Well, the thing is, he can really spin the ball as well. So it's a funny old scenario. He's got that in his locker too, depending on conditions, really. I think here today the thought is that just fire it in, because there's not a lot on offer from this pitch apart from it being a bit of a gem to bat on.
Well, this is the thing. I think the Bears will know that they also have the kind of lineup that could chase 200 plus. So it's just about damage limitation at this point. Where can they get them down to? 180 would be wonderful from here.
Wharton's on strike. He's lifted that one into the leg side again, trying to pierce the gap, and he does. It's 4 more. moves very nicely onto 33 from 19 deliveries. And these two now have put on 67.
Yeah, they're really flowing as pair, finding boundaries every over. At least 1 or 2 boundaries every single over. They're just putting the fielding side under intense pressure. Once these boundaries keep leaking, you sort of as a captain as well, keeper captain, you're thinking, what do I need to do?
One more to come. And that's on the legs and out for once more for what will be 2. And it'll be a really comfortable 2 as well. And the score moves on nicely to 134 for 2 from 14 overs, as we say. Bowling speeds in that over quite extreme. Don't forget as well to download the EdgBLASTon app as well for all things Bears and EdgBLASTon too. This place is fantastic now, isn't it?
It really is.
Most people living. There was one of the roads that I used to go down. You can't go down in. What's a car park for people living there?
Yeah, I mean it's just grown so much over the years, but it really is a magical venue. One of the best places to watch cricket, I would say, in the world. And just a great city, obviously, but just a great sporting venue that really draws the best of its city to it. So if you've never been to EdgBLASTon, I can't recommend it enough. Come here, watch some cricket, and have a great day out.
And imagine in a few years' time, because you're staying up this weekend and about to book a hotel elsewhere, a few years' time you'll be able to stay here.
I can't afford that.
We could just stick you in a bin for the night and no one will notice you're still here over the weekend.
Just hang out, just take a nap at the back of the studio.
This is the 15th over, 134 for 2, tickled round the corner. So along with all the brutishness and the glorious drives, a delicate little tickle for a single from us.
Yeah, I mean, taking what they can get, especially, I think this is one of those areas that they need to sort of think about the Bears. They have to think a little bit unorthodox. That low full toss, for example, the previous over, was a difficult one for them to get away. It was a good idea from Dan Mousley. It's not the sort of delivery you associate with great success as a bowler, but low full tosses can often be wicket-taking deliveries. And there we go. It's a little intriguing move in the field here. Fine leg is moving across just inside the circle. Mid-wicket is going to... there's a deep mid-wicket and there's a mid-wicket inside the circle as well. So they're really preempting that slug sweep, hoping for a top edge here, is Alex Davies.
Yeah, and it's outside the off-stump of Wharton, who tried to reverse sweep it. It was a sweep. It was more of a switch hit, really.
Yeah, he was trying to sort of play it across behind square, but trying to play that shot where as a right-hander he becomes a left-hander, and he nearly executed it. But I don't think they mind too much. Now look, fine leg is going across to short third, so a little game of cat and mouse happening here.
There's a chance to sweep it here, but I'm guessing it's going to be tucked well outside the off-stump, which it is, and it's cracked back down the ground. 3 or 4 bounces for 4. Really good shot from Wharton.
Yeah, it's disappointing from Lintott, though. He just got his field exactly how he wanted it, and then just dropped it just a little bit short. You can't drop it tall short on a surface like this, and certainly not to a batter who's hitting the ball and seeing it as well as Wharton is right now. So just got to be a little bit braver and go fully. You sort of understand not wanting to bowl full and get dispatched over your head for 6, but you got to take some chances here. Now, Hassan Ali is not quite sure where to go. He's in a sort of straightish mid-on position.
They are being funky with their fielding positions at this moment in time. He's on the move straight away. Well, he might get picked out here. It could be perfect. It is perfect. It's a master stroke in the field. Hassan Ali with a catch, and Wharton has gone. Yeah. Finally for 39.
That's all Jake Lintott there. He was the one who insisted. Alex Davies said to him, Hassan, you can move Hassan where you want him. He moved Hassan almost in line with the wicket at the edge of the 30-yard circle, and even Hassan was like, are you sure you want me here? And he was sort of edging to a more conventional mid-on position, but Jake Lintott knew exactly what he was doing. He was pushing the ball across the right-hander, knowing that he's going to want to go down the ground. So if that top edge comes, which it did, it will float. And if it floats, you want your fielder inside the circle to be as straight as possible, where Hassan Ali was, takes a perfect catch. And just like that, the Bears have broken this partnership, a chance to pull back this Yorkshire score that was threatening to go in excess of 200.
That's a brilliant replay there of seeing exactly Hassan Ali's movements in preparation for taking that catch. Because a couple of moments it looked like it was going over his head, but he positioned himself really well. Good job he's got that ponytail in, or his fringe may have got in his eyes at the time. But
he's enjoying it. You can always tell someone who enjoys the hair because they're constantly fiddling with it.
Yeah.
Probably gets through a ton of hair care products.
Matthew Reeves is the new batsman. What was the partnership in the end there, Aaron?
So it was 74. I was actually getting a stat prepared because the highest third wicket partnership for a Yorkshire pair against the Bears was 83. It was set by David Willey and Sean Marsh in 2017. So that's the second highest third wicket partnership by a Yorkshire pairing against the Bears.
Damn those Bears taking a wicket to ruin your stat. That's a decent bit of fielding there in close as well from Latham. So no run off the next ball. Lintott suddenly with 1 for 30 as we approach the end of his third over. 139 for 3. Last ball of the 15th. Revis on strike. It's down the leg side. Oh, he's got him. He's got him. He's got him. It does take an edge. And Lintott strikes for a second time in the over. And Revis is on his way. Brilliant work from Alex Davies following that ball down the leg side. Revis isn't happy, but he's on his way. And 2 wickets in the over for the Bears. 139 for 4.
Yeah, it was not the best delivery that Jake Lintott's ever bowled, but he deserved that wicket because he's bowled so well throughout this over. He just pulled things back after that boundary down the ground, got himself a wicket, put the new batter under a bit of pressure with the previous stop ball, and this one's going down the leg, so it's not a great delivery, but a little bit of glove on its way through to Alex Davies, who did the rest. Lintott gets some fair reward.
He did. Artif, thank you. He'll be back with us soon. Ricordo's on the way, but that's 15 overs gone. 139 for 4. Five overs remaining. 50 miles an hour, that last ball from Jake Lintott. Moeen is back into the attack at the Birmingham ends. Well, not many wickets for you. We've gone into that last over there. They were going very well, weren't they?
Yeah, I was in the background, lurking, wishing for those wickets to fall. Like I said, Milan. I said he wasn't batting well, but proving me wrong today.
Well, he's still going here on to 62 now.
Half a chance out there on the boundary, but good bit of work early out in Moeen's first spell from Jake out at deep mid-wicket. But since then, he's just looked pretty calm. Showed his international quality, I think. He
has. So here we are in the 15th over. 16th over. We've only had 3 overs of pace.
Quite interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's clearly a tactic that I'm going to assume they went out with in their minds, predetermined. Was that swept by Dom Bess, who's the new batsman?
I don't know if George is still carrying that niggle. Maybe that's why he ain't bowling that much. Obviously, Hassan Ali looks to be full fitness. Don't know whether that's part of a ploy to just preserve the fast bowling unit. But they've got plenty of all-round spinners, so.
They have 140 for 4. 3 balls into this over from Moeen Ali, much better. Single off the first ball. Now he's got Bess on strike and he's going to try and keep him there, which he does for another delivery. It's moments like these when you have someone like Moeen to bowl at the new batsman. And he's just able to exert a little bit of pressure, isn't he?
Yeah, obviously star quality performer. Catch.
And got a wicket. Very well held by Kai Smith. And it's 5 down. It's a flurry of wickets that the Bears have picked up here, and Yorkshire just losing their way a little in the closing stages of their innings. 140 for 5. Bess is on his way without dropping the scorers.
T20 cricket, ebbs and flows. Yorkshire at one point looking dead set, as you said, for scoring 200, but I think early out in the piece, Warwickshire built a lot of pressure. The Bears built a lot of pressure and didn't get the rewards, and now they're getting the rewards for it now.
Moeen Ali with his second wicket, 2 for 29. Suddenly looks like not a bad little set of 4 overs for Moeen if he can get out of this last ball maybe with a dot or just a single. So Bess is on his way.
Dangerous player, Dom Bess, could have been very dangerous. Moeen Ali just squeezing and putting the pressure on them here.
Harry Jukes, the new batsman, who comes in for Yorkshire. Flowing blonde hair underneath that helmet, you feel? It's going to be...
I think with the spin as well, Adam, it makes it makes the overs go so quickly. So as a batting unit, you got to be thinking where are we going to score. So you get a bit of a hurry on. Because with the fast bowlers, you think pace on. You know what, we can catch up, we'll hit it at the end. But with the spin, you always got to be thinking, right, where I'm going to hit it.
And it is just going to be a single into the leg side. And that's the end of Moeen's spell. 4 overs, 2 for 30 for Moeen Ali. And good contribution from Mo. He's got through his overs. 1 for 1 for 5, then 4 overs remaining. Danny Briggs still with 1 to go. And there's a few wigs in the crowd today. Look at that, multicoloured. There's a few, what we got, pink, purple. There's even a green one.
Orange.
Yeah. Not a bad setup. The wig shop's done some good business, I'm guessing.
Costume. Holly's always rocking here at EdgBLASTon.
It is. It's filling up more and more as the evening's going on, that's for sure. Danny Briggs to finish up then. 1 for 24 so far.
Hopefully he can repeat the same thing what Moeen done the over before.
Milan on 62. Just dried up a little bit. David Milan. Been starved of the strike in the last couple of overs. Duke is on strike. That's gone down the leg side. Watching to see what call comes from the umpire here. Did it get a nick of anything? Or is it
Leg by.
It's a leg by. Okay. Alex Davis.
Big 5 balls.
Well, they are. Milan's on strike now, and he's just got a bit quiet on the run front, hasn't he, Aaron? He's not.
Big.
I know he's not had much strike, has he?
No, he hasn't, but the fact is he's still on 62. He is the set operator, so this is the key battle, isn't it? Danny Briggs, the man who dismissed him twice in 2024.
And let's hope he can make it once already in 2025, but not with that ball, because that's just going to be a single to the total. 143 for 5.
Exactly what Warwickshire wanted there. 2 quick wickets. New man comes to the crease, having to chew up a couple of balls to get himself in. Milan having to reset. So that's exactly what you want.
Oh,
that is plumbers.
LBW for Danny Briggs. Off goes Harry Duke. He's gone with just 1 on the board. And it is a real clatter of wickets for Yorkshire here. 143 for 6 now. Duke on the way. LBW to Briggs for 1.
Brilliant bit of bowling here from the Bears. Creating a lot of pressure. Yorkshire having to rebuild. Duke trying to turn that one into the leg side. Plum LBW don't get much more out than that.
Am I thinking, Aaron, that's 3 wickets for 10 runs maybe?
Yeah, it's been a spectacular collapse, but there's a stat actually which I think has more importance here for Danny Briggs, who with these 2 wickets has just become the Bears' 3rd all-time leading wicket taker in T20 cricket. He surpassed the great Neil Carter. He had 81.
Carts has been passed.
He has indeed, yep. Danny Briggs now stands on 82. He's still got quite a bit to go if he's ever to surpass Jitan Patel. He took 141 over the course of a glittering career for the West Midlands outfit. But congratulations to Danny Briggs. He's on 82 wickets, the Bears' 3rd all-time leading T20 Blast wicket taker.
All right, we know the run rate at one point was up nearly 10 and over. We're currently at 8.6. If they could keep them here to under 180, 175, that would be a phenomenal effort, really, wouldn't it? Considering how well they were going and looking like 200 was reasonable. He's cut that off his stumps as Matt Milnes.
Dangerous shot, that.
Well, you could see as well. The response of Alex Davis and Danny Briggs often tells you.
It was quite interesting shot. Again, big 2 balls. A bit interesting to see how Milan plays these 2 balls off Danny Briggs. Is he just going to see the over out, or will he try to get a boundary off these 2 balls to put a bit of pressure back onto the Bears?
Yeah, well, he's running out of partners here, isn't he? It's another single. So far, that's 3 runs off of the over and a wicket as well.
It's quite interesting just sitting back and watching it before I came back on comms. Just looking at the Bears thinking, where is that spell of brilliance going to come from? But you can see the belief and the strength in the unit that they knew that the game didn't get too far ahead of from them. And I think that's the style and version of cricket that they've been playing over the last 2 years, where they never get too much under pressure about what's happening in the game. They just keep coming back harder and harder against the opposition.
146 for 6. They actually lost 4 wickets for 4 runs. They were 139 for 2, and then they were 143 for 6. So 4 wickets, 4 runs. I mean, that's a great turnaround, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic turnaround there from the Bears. Hassan Ali now coming up for his 3rd over.
He is. 2 overs for 23 so far, just 3 to go. So you suspect Hassan's going to bowl out here from the Birmingham end. And the question is, will Garton come in at this end potentially?
I would love to see him use his short ball here. I think the previous over where he bowled to Wharton where he got rammed, I'd love to see him use his short ball against the lower order batters rather than just look for the stumps on the length. We know he's got a dangerous Yorker, right? So if he looks to really target the toes and the head here against the lower order, force them to hit it into the big side like he's got the field set for it here. I just thought the last over just bowled a little bit, set the field to get hit into the leg side and bowled a few loose balls to Milan outside off stump.
Ricardo Gordon, our companion here on Bears TV right now. Oh dear,
there we go.
That's out. It's a run out. Hassan Ali does it all. And it was ridiculous really from Milnes, who's clubbed the ball nowhere and went darting off looking for a single, unaware where the ball was. And it was just right under his feet.
100%. You can see the ploy get Milan on strike in these last 3 overs, trying to give him as much of these 18 balls to hit. And like we said, bowl that heavy length rather than that length outside off stump. You can see Hassan there bowling it back of a length, giving Milnes no room. And he's trying to cloth it into the leg side and ended up hitting it straight back at the stumps.
They've gone from 139 for 2 onto 146 for 7. I mean, that's an extraordinary collapse, isn't it? Really is.
It's great work from the Bears though, Adam.
It is, yeah.
Showing a lot of conviction, a lot of fight, staying in the game.
What did Danny Briggs finish on in terms of his numbers?
Yeah, so he got 2 wickets in the end, did Danny Briggs, and bowled very nicely. Got 2 for 29 or 2 for 30, somewhere around there. But in terms of this collapse, it has been spectacular, hasn't it, for Yorkshire? Just when it looked as though they had all the momentum, that partnership between Milan and Wharton was broke.
Yeah, Milan is still there, but he's not on strike. That's going to be a wide ball.
Like the idea though. I think to the tail here, definitely use that short ball. Make them think about not just prodding forward on the front foot, looking to open up that swing from the arm. Zafar Chauhan is no rabbit with the bat. He can definitely play, but I think no one likes to think 85 mile an hour coming out of my head from a fired up Hassan Ali.
We're just shy of 84 miles an hour there. Got no choice but to play back to a really good ball from Hassan Ali. And you're right, he does look fired up. No two ways about it. Again, over 83 miles an hour from Hassan Ali, providing the Friday night entertainment. 2.5 overs to go.
We want to see the celebration. Come on, Hassan.
We do.
Get us a wicket. We want to see the celebration.
It's cut away. It's just going to be 1. First runs off the bat in this over. Reminder as well, don't forget to click like on the feed of your Bears TV. I hope you like our new set, a new setup for this season. We'll be with you, of course, for the home games here at EdgBLASTon. Plenty of double headers as well. We're back again with a double header on Sunday. The women kick things off at lunchtime, followed by the men in the afternoon against Derbyshire Falcons. And of course next Saturday as well, there's Midlands Mania for you on Saturday, and the women in action on Sunday as well. So a busy couple of weeks of Blast cricket here on Bears TV. So make sure you get us liked so we keep appearing in your feed, and we'll guide you through what promises to be another fantastic campaign for both the men and the women. Women obviously going top of the table early this afternoon. That's outside the off stump from Hassan on the full. But Milan again just with a single, moving him on to 65, and that's probably been the telling thing in this little run. The wickets have gone, and at the same time they've starved Milan of the strike.
Yeah, it's been excellent cricket from the Bears. We've got 13 balls left. I would like to think if they would have kept Milan off strike, but for the next over. But we'll see what happens with this ball here.
Don't forget as well, when you are on the channel, if you're clicking the like of our feed, then feel free to send us your comments as well. We'd love to share some of those with you. 149 for 7. Last of the over from Hassan Ali. It's going to be one more to the total. It means Sharon will keep the strike. It does bring the 150 up, though, for Yorkshire with 2 overs remaining. 150 for 7. And that's 3 overs done for Hassan Ali.
Danger Mouse. Looks like he's getting ready to come on and bowl Dan Mousley. So George Garton definitely still carrying the niggle for him to only bowl the 1 over.
But
Has to be.
Yeah, but then why is he playing if he's got a niggle? It doesn't make sense, really, does it? No.
But why play him and only bowl him 1 over?
But you've also got Barnard who could have bowled if it was if you wanted a pace bowler. So it's who knows the intricacies of the decisions that are made. I'm sure we'll find out from Alex Davies after the game. But 150 for 7 then.
Quite interesting though.
Yeah. I mean, there's reasons for everything, isn't there? I thought he bowled quite well in that first over.
He did. Fantastically.
Had a fair bit of pace, and he looked like he tucked Milan up a couple of times. Nice bit of movement.
Wrapped him on the thumb, gave him a little bit of agony.
Yeah. He's got over that. He's on 65, but it's not often Dan Mousley bowls and doesn't take a wicket really so far, is it? He's about to get into his 4th over. Yeah, 10 and over as well. He's had a little bit of tap this time round. Floodlights really kicking in at EdgBLASTon now. There are grey skies around us, but it's a very light grey, nothing more than that, so I don't think we're going to have any problems. The wind just seems to have abated a little from its kind of really strong blustery conditions earlier. We can see Dan's shirt is rippling a little. Fires that one into the legs of China, who gets a single into the leg side. It brings Milan on to strike. He's 6 away from reaching 10,000 T20 runs in all competitions. 65 he sits on right now. Gem of a stat from our stat man in the corner, and it's within striking distance. Although it's been a while since he hit a boundary, I'm going to suggest. He's on 65 from 44 balls. 151 for 7. I think if they could keep him under 170, that would have been a phenomenal effort considering where they were.
Well bowled.
It's really good, isn't it?
Very well bowled. I think at this stage, Alex Davies winning the toss, choosing to bowl first. 4 overs ago, probably was a little bit more concerned, but where he sits now, I think even if they get 180, he'll be very happy.
Yeah, it's been a top effort.
Yeah.
152 for 7. 10 balls remaining, and
well bowled. There's that arm
fired in, with real pace. 69 miles an hour. 69 miles an hour from Dan Mousley. 152 for 7. Oh, and he's beaten him again. I mean, look, full Yorkers from a spinner outside the off stump at 69 miles an hour. What's not to like?
Who needs a seam bowler?
There is that too.
Who needs a seam bowler?
Just 2 singles from the over so far.
Get out the over, Dan. Get out the over.
This one has got a less of a length on it. Probably right in the zone, actually, but it's only for a single.
Zafar just trying to give it everything there, just leaning back and probably looking for more power rather than timing. Last ball to Dawood Milan. Dan can get out of this over. It would be a great over for the Bears at this stage. Penultimate over, only going for 4 would be fantastic.
It feels like it's been a while since there was a boundary. I don't know if Aaron's counting, but...
Oh, beautifully bowled by Dan.
And he's going to try...
Milan hustling for 2.
But he doesn't want to because he wants to strike, doesn't he? So that's the end of the over. Aaron, sorry, have you got a last time there was a boundary number for us?
I have indeed, yes. It was midway through the 15th over. So it's been 31 deliveries since Yorkshire last hit a 4 or a 6. It's been quite the collapse, to be honest. And a great riposte as well from the Bears, so definitely something which has crept in to Yorkshire's innings as it's progressed, unfortunately for those who are tuning in from a White Rose perspective.
A up, if they are. There you go, we'll just do a little moment for our friends in Yorkshire then. Don't forget, if you want to send us a message, you can. You can do it via following at Warwickshire CCC on any of the social media platforms. Feel free to get in touch. We'd love to hear what you think, and you can also, of course, leave your comments below the stream as well. That's after you've clicked on the thumbs up. Right, final over coming here, and it is going to be Hassan from the far end. 154 for 7 is the score. Milan on strike. He's 4 away from 10,000 T20 runs.
Catch
and
him!
He's just tried to turn it round the corner with a reverse bat, and it's straight to Danny Briggs, and it wasn't far away.
Tell you what, Alex Davis, some of this field placing today has absolutely been fantastic. You know, the modern day cricketer and the way in which I think data with TV and video footage, it's just helping the modern day cricketer come up with some absolutely fantastic, ingenious ways of getting wickets.
Yeah, the data is there, isn't it?
Hassan Ali peering around the back of Lintott just before that ball was bowled, and then he just runs back and take that. That was fantastic to watch.
What a moment. 155 for 7.
Very well bowled again.
It was a really good ball. They're going to get 2 here, I think, just because the positioning of it really found a gap nicely for what he knew about it. 2 to the total, 157 for 7. I mean, all of a sudden we were talking about 200. Let's not. After 13 overs, we were sitting here genuinely thinking 200 was on the cards. Now we're in a scenario where they may keep them below 165, which is just a phenomenal effort.
I think I like this ploy. Just keep Zafar on strike. Catch him.
Oh, no. He's
But
just got
Adam,
too much.
just as I was about to say, last couple of balls in the over, I get it. Why not keep the mid-off, the extra cover and mid-wicket on the ring? Take an extra wicket. That will help net run rate and all that sort of stuff towards the end of the season. Obviously, we're sitting at second from bottom with a net run rate of -1 point whatever. So if you get a few more wickets,
long way to go.
yeah, but a big win helps.
Big win does help. Yeah, it
Wickets
certainly
help.
does.
So I think Zafar's not looking to hit a single to get off strike. But here we go.
Well, on strike.
Catch him.
Down the round. He's going to be out here, is he? No.
Yes,
Yes, he
he
is. Oh, he spilled it. He spilled it. Dan Mousley spills it.
That is like a solar eclipse. You don't see it often.
Well, he caught it. Obviously, it was coming in quite low. It was a full toss, so he's got his bat under it. Milan and Moses, just as he was sliding in, lets it slip. They only got a single, though.
All right, there we go. Mid-wicket and extra cover on the ring now. Last couple of balls. No, they're not. They're coming in, looking to stop the single. I'm not quite sure why.
Moeen's coming in. Ali bowls. That's up in the air. And is he going to get the catch over his shoulder? No, he's not. It's going to go all the way to the boundary for 4. Just
That's
about
quite
got
unlucky.
there.
That's
Yeah.
Sod's law, right?
Yeah, Latham was on the charge to chase after it, but it does go to the boundary. Chow moves on to 11, 163 for 7. What it means is Milan is not on strike for the final ball, and he's not going to reach his 71 unless we have a no ball and a free hit, which would have taken him to those 10,000 runs. So the dream of our stato in the corner of him doing it here today doesn't look like it's going to happen. Hassan Ali outside. That's a lovely ball. Really is. It was perfect. It was a full-length Yorker outside the off stump. They get a bye and they finish on 164 for 7. Milan has carried his bat through the 20 overs for 69 runs of 48 deliveries. Chime finishes on 11 from 11. A partnership of 18. Dan Mousley, none for 34 from his 4 overs. And in the end, to restrict Yorkshire in the manner that they have to 164 for 7 is a brilliant comeback from the Bears. Bearing in mind, it was 139 for 2. They then ended up losing for 7 runs. They lost 5 wickets. A bit of a repair job at the end with that 18 runs between Chauhan and Milan. However, that's a phenomenal effort in the field from the Bears after a tricky start to the innings. And we will resume here in around about 15 minutes' time. I will leave you in the company of Ricardo and Art if we're going to talk you through the innings break. But Yorkshire have set the Bears 165 for victory.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
Well, it's turning out to be quite a lovely evening here in Birmingham, and here at EdgBLASTon is turning into quite the fixture as well. What a comeback from the Birmingham Bears, pulling the Yorkshire team back to 164. That is a terrific effort, as Adam was just saying. And at one stage we were discussing 200, whether the Bears could chase that on this surface, because it looked a really good batting wicket. But the bowlers really came through, and the fielders alongside them as well, Recorder.
Yeah, 100%. Great effort, great fight. You think they built a lot of pressure early up front, but didn't quite get the rewards. And I think Yorkshire with Milan looking a little bit more fluent there in the middle with Wharton.
Yes.
Yeah. Wharton there looking like they were going to run away with it, but I think the quality showed with the bowling that the Bears have got, and pegged it quite strongly there, and got those wickets in quick succession.
They did. They've strung them all together. Let's take a little look at some of the highlights from that innings as well. Early doors, we saw some big hitting from the Yorkshire team, and then there was those 2 early wickets that did fall for Yorkshire, just as they were trying to put a lot of pressure on the Bears. There was the first one that fell to Danny Briggs, thick inside edge.
Of bowling that was.
Yeah, it's a lovely bit of bowling, wasn't it?
Bowling.
Yeah, we'll see it again here. Just left it up there and just went right through him. He was looking for that big hoik over mid-wicket.
Teased him with that long one up in the ring.
I've missed many of those in my time, but still do. And then shortly after that, then the left-hander, Milan. This was one of those teasers, but they started to find their groove a little bit at Yorkshire. It's after this moment, we thought there was a close call for a run-out. That throw from Jake Lintott as well, who has always been in the action in that innings, nearly resulted in a run-out, but it didn't quite happen. And we got to see Moeen versus Milan. This was a fun battle, which for the largest part, though, was dominated by Milan. I mean, this time Moeen beat him outside the off-stump, but it was good fun watching the pair of them in action. And then you see Jake Lintott. This was Wharton, who was going after Lintott for a while. Pretty impressive cricketer with his sort of... It seems quite compact in his hitting, and just really has that belief in his his strength.
Strong.
Yeah.
Strong northern lad.
But this is what I mean. Like, it's not even like he's opening his shoulders. He's strong just like that, just with a small arm action.
Uses levers pretty well. Plays simple cricket. Strong from the crease shots. How is that not out?
Yeah, it was a big appeal that time from.
That's quite interestingly not out.
Yeah. And then this one from Moeen was just smashed down the ground as well.
But this is what the Blast is all about, right? Yeah. International cricketers, high quality. Moeen Ali versus Dawood Milan. For all the young kids at home watching, that's what you want to see.
This was a great effort. Yeah, it would have been 6. Saved 5 there. He pulled it back in. They only got the single. And then Hassan Ali at the death was a beautiful drive, wasn't it? Just a lofted cover drive. He just floated up there a little bit, and a player like Milan's never going to let you off with that kind of delivery. And the quicker ones were getting pulled as well. They're picking out the gaps. They were batting so well. Were Milan and Wharton when they were in tandem. It was only after they fell that things started to fall apart.
Here's a bit of genius. Here's our little bit of peekaboo. Hassan Ali. You can't see it under the replay, but us first here live watching.
They moved him straight.
Yeah. This is when he was hiding, peering behind Jake Lintott, trying to see where the ball's going to be. Runs backward quite athletically. Takes a good catch there.
Because hard as it was running backwards,
hardest catches.
Yeah, because you don't. The ball could sort of be going over your shoulder. You've got to really judge it. There's a little bit of wind about as well. It's backpedaling, keeping his balance, and making it look very straightforward in the end. But it was a really good piece of captaincy as well, I thought, in that occasion, and some really good fielding.
See what Yorkshire are trying to do. Yorkshire trying to just rebuild the innings, trying to nudge it around, and then Warwickshire Bears capitalised really well on that. Bowl nice and straight, nice and at the stumps, forcing you to make a unforced error and bang. And then we asked for it. I was up here asking for Hassan Ali to use his short ball a bit more because, sometimes being a shorter sort of bowler, because he's so skiddy and he's a bit quicker, he rushes the batter a little bit more, especially lower order batters who are probably used to the ball up there. Yeah. So him bowling that was quite good. Unfortunately, Dan Mousley dropping that one.
I know. I think I think Mouse is going to have to buy him, take him for dinner or something 100%. While he's only just got back into Birmingham, so I'm sure I'll have to take him out.
You don't really spend some of that ECB money, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. That's it. It's time to shell out for a nice gift for Hassan, for sure.
Often, though.
No, you don't.
It was
especially
a rarity. It was a rarity.
Well, you say that. I feel like in modern sort of T20 cricket, you do see a lot of catches go down nowadays, more than you used to. Mind you, they took some very good catches. They did field well generally. Obviously, at that point, I think they would be absolutely thrilled, the Bears, because 164 is like, we're talking about a good 36 runs shy of where they could have ended up Yorkshire when Milan and Wharton were going.
100%. And I think Aaron will probably back this up on stats later on, but I think the par score here is like 178, so they're well short of that par score here, batting first and for the average score at EdgBLASTon anyway.
Yeah.
Which
always feels a bit low anyway, doesn't it? It feels like there's always more in this pitch than there is than 170 odd, 180 odd. But that said, as well, we've also got like a bolstered batting attack as well today with Mousley in there as well. That lineup, that batting lineup, it's pretty
two international quality cricketers in Latham and Moeen Ali. Then you got Dan Mousley in there.
You got Sam Hain in there.
Sam Hain, the ever.
Yeah. Alex Davies at the top.
Keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah, of course.
I said earlier on Darwin's not really having the best tournament so far.
Look at him come
and
through.
Then he came today, so I'm not going to say anything. Yeah, Sam Hain.
Yeah.
Good player.
He's a very good player. He's a good player. That's all we'll say. We're just going to say good player, Sam Hain.
Yeah, good player.
But they've got plenty of talent there. They've got plenty of the resources in terms of chasing this score down. It does feel like the kind of score that leans into Sam Hain's wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Where
definitely,
if it was a 220. I'm not saying he doesn't have those gears, but he's better, I feel, at contained chases.
Yeah, like this is him.
This is him, right?
This is
160,
him.
chasing 165. Sam Hain.
Yeah, he is the guy.
Yeah.
If you ever wanted to, pull something out of a hat or phone a friend to come and rescue, Sam Hain with Mr. Number 18.
I love it.
Pick your phone up, Mr. Number 18.
I love it.
Call him.
It's really, really good.
This is set up perfectly for him. And especially with the power up front, with the power play, if they get off, then should be elementary chase.
Well, you'd think so. I mean, the Bears always make things very interesting. They never really make things too elementary too quickly. But they need this as well. They really need this win. Winless at the moment from their first two games. Need a big win, a statement win, just to remind everybody that we're title contenders.
Yeah, and that net run rate. I don't like the -1 point.
Yeah, we've got to get out of that situation as well. Of course, there's so much. It's still early doors in the Blast, of course, but there's things to think about eventually, like home quarterfinals, and then just
that's where that net run rate comes
exactly. That's where it'll come in. So we've got to. Hopefully, we'll have some action coming up very, very shortly. I can see the players on the edge of the pitch. The umpires are making their way out, so I am going to make way for Adam Bridge. But just in terms of the start that you'd like to see, Ricardo, from Birmingham Bears. Well, I mean, what are you thinking? Being a little bit cagey, or do you want to see some fireworks?
I'm a greedy guy.
He wants fireworks.
Of course.
He wants fireworks.
Who wouldn't want it?
He wants like 100 off the power play.
Oh, no.
He said, no. 99 will do.
No. A breezy 60.
A breezy...
Break
breezy
the back
60.
of the chase.
Well, I'll just before I hand back over to Adam Bridge, the players come out. I can see Aaron's back as well. I'll ask Aaron to look up perhaps the average power play score by the Bears here at EdgBLASTon in the last... let's go with the last 4 seasons. The time I've been here at EdgBLASTon. Find that out for us, please, and then you can share it. And taking you through this first sequence of action here as the Warwickshire players make their way out will be Adam Bridge.
Thank you. I think he knows the answer already. He's nodding, you see. So go on then. What is it?
Yeah, so for the Bears, it's usually around about the 50 mark. So 50 for 2 is the average power play for the Bears. But it's interesting because even though Yorkshire will be bitterly disappointed by this, at one stage we were discussing 200 plus. 165 as a target is still the biggest run chase if the Bears can get this in matches between these two sides. So, just something to think about. Something else to think about, in the 8 matches played in last season's T20 Blast at EdgBLASTon, 7 of them were won by the team defending. Do you want to know what the anomaly was?
Yorkshire.
Yep. The Bears beating Yorkshire by 4 wickets here in the T20. So, will we see that superstition come into play? Who knows? But this should be a cracking run chase, and it will be. Dan Moriarty to bowl to Tom Latham to get us underway.
Handy customer he is.
It is Moriarty to start from this pavilion end. And it's just turned round the corner for a single. And we are off and running.
Here's an interesting one.
Go for it.
How this is a Warwickshire team. I don't remember so many left-handers.
Really?
Yeah. I don't remember so many
At all? Ever? Okay. Aaron can jet that for us. Is it the most amount of left-handers? He probably
maybe
can't.
a couple of years. But, like, I know last year you had Yates, Bethel.
And it's going to be
Mousley.
Moriarty again. And this time to the skipper, Alex Davis, who cuts away. I thought at the start of the game against Notts, he played a couple of shots which were almost no-look hooks. And I've not seen anything quite like it from Alex Davis. They were extraordinary shots that he played over at Trent Bridge last Friday. And, yeah, I was very impressed. And I'm impressed by that as well. It's a lovely cut shot from Alex Davis.
Beautifully controlled cricket shot. Moriarty looking to dart it in and hang it up, and Alex, ball just skidding on with the arm a little bit. Alex Davis just waiting on it and cracking it back with a point for 4.
Yeah, it's a really nice shot. Very clever cricketer, very good captain.
Yep.
Reads this side incredibly well.
Be interesting to see what Moriarty does. Hopefully pitches it up and Alex can crack him over mid-off for 4.
He's a bit confusing, Moriarty, isn't he? Because he starts off with a good tempo, then he slows down as almost though he's decided not to bowl and he's just going to go and rub the dirt, but then he does actually bowl.
Quite confusing, these guys to play. Because they can't, as a batter, you stood there, you're trying to wait, get ready, and then you're feeling like, all right, I'm calming down, and when am I going to actually see the ball? So you can catch you on the go a little bit, because you can get a bit planty on your front foot waiting for the ball to come at you.
Starts a long way back as well, and he's coming from the
just like that
non-striker, isn't he?
And he's not a short spinner.
No.
And when they're quite taller and they have this stoppy-starty sort of action, and they let it go, it feels like the ball's just taking forever to get to you because it's coming from such a height.
Moriarty again. Swept. And it's just going to be a single. 5 without loss. One more ball to come in the over. 6, should I say. That's another one to Davis. Latham, I thought, was already off the mark. Of course, the New Zealander.
What a player he is.
Oh.
What a player, Tom Latham. I think New Zealand just have a way of producing such high-quality, assured cricketers.
I think for the size of the country, it's quite remarkable, really, isn't it? There's one more to the total, and that completes the first over. 7 on the board for the Bears.
Quite admire the way New Zealand go about their cricket. They don't get enough praises. I think they just quietly go about producing good cricketers and doing really well in international tournaments. Obviously, a lot of times always the bridesmaid and never the bride, but consistently turning up and being competitive. It's phenomenal what they do. Steady start from the Bears, Adam?
Yep, it is. And we'll see Matt Milnes come in from the far end for Yorkshire. Am I dreaming? Has Latham retired from international cricket? Has he? Or has he? Am I going slightly bonkers?
He doesn't really play as much nowadays, unfortunately, as Tom Latham. But yeah, just to echo Ricardo's points, I mean, New Zealand really do produce some outstanding cricketers, don't they?
They've delivered us some pretty good Bears over the years as well, haven't they, if we're going to be honest? That's edged away by Latham. It will be just the one as it's fielded by Moriarty down below us. I mean, the rich history of the Bears and New Zealand.
It goes back, doesn't it?
Yeah, and we're not just talking Jeets, are we? Who is, as you mentioned earlier, top of the tree when it comes to T20 Blast wickets for the Bears.
You guys have to educate me here. Within my first 5 overs, go beyond Jeets, another New Zealand stalwart for Warwickshire. Beyond Jeets.
Well, I would say Grant
Before
Elliott had a pretty decent
Before
impact.
Jeets, before Jeets.
Oh, we're going before Jeets.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey. There's your man over there. He'll
All right,
fill you
Aaron.
in. I was going to say post. I liked having Colin de Granholm around. You played with Colin. Did you play with
No,
Colin?
no,
you're not quite.
No, not quite.
I mean, he was a character, wasn't
Yeah.
he? That was
CDG.
for sure. He was fantastic.
Well, I see your Colin de Grandon, and I'll raise you one for ones of a certain vintage at Warwickshire, Tom Pritchard, from the
there we go.
40s and 50s.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Read a lovely article about him the other day, so he's quite fresh in the mind.
9 without loss. 1 more to the total for Latham, who moves on to 4. I mean, look, Jeeton was
runnable.
Jeeton was just one of those really kind of. I don't think nowadays you can find an international pro who shows the kind of love and loyalty that Jeeton showed. I mean, the Bears were lucky. For all those years, they didn't need to find a spinner. And didn't have to worry about the international play. You know, they'd always had one in, but actually you always had Jeets. And since his departure, trying to find somebody to fill that kind of void.
Yeah, playing cricket with him, it wasn't just like, you know, you had an international player. It felt like he was always here. Even when you knew you're waiting for him to come in after during the pre-season, as soon as he got here, it was like he hadn't left. So to have such a senior player, a constant, you know, he was just such a constant in the changing room, watching him, how he went about his stuff. It was just amazing to learn from. So I think not just as a cricketer, but how he went about his whole professionalism, what he contributed to the team in the changing room, when things got rough on the pitch, how he was on the pitch with us as like your younger players coming through. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
That's what made him.
What a
he
guy
was.
as well.
Yeah, oh,
It's just what a guy.
top guy.
I don't understand why that wasn't a wide, really, but
Might have
the
brushed something at him.
Yeah, could have been, but the umpire decided not. Last ball of the over then. 11 without loss. It's not been a bad over for
Fine.
Milnes, and there's a big appeal, but nothing doing. Just 3 off the over. It completes the second over, and the Bears are 11 without loss.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
Here he is, Will O'Rourke.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've got a change. O'Rourke's coming on to bowl. Just the 1 over of spin to get us underway with Moriarty. And now the change to Will O'Rourke.
Another New Zealand.
And he's got some pace about him, hasn't he?
He certainly has, yes. He is lightning quick, is Will O'Rourke. Quite expensive against Northants, but a fine, fine bowler.
Let's see what he delivers here. Oof. Davis down on one leg. There's a little bit of movement there, maybe.
Yeah, just like what we've seen in the first innings, right, Adam? It's just a ball just shaping around a little bit. Milnes bowled that over. Looks like it's just decking around. For a tall man, getting it right up there from the first ball.
I think it's quite interesting, isn't it, when you look at they talk about this production line of great New Zealand batsmen, but there's been a fairly decent production line of quick bowlers. Of that there is no doubt. Davis gets that away. Beautiful
Misfield
shot.
gives him 4 there.
It's a lovely shot, wasn't it? Deserved a 4, to be fair.
It did. Darwood Malan with a misfield there at a short cover. Creates a 4 for Alex Davis. And like I said, for such a tall guy, getting it right up there makes it a little bit floaty. I'd love to see him like extract a bit more bounce, a bit more carry, like what we said George did in that first over.
I was going to say, it's a bit like that conversation we had about a kind of natural length. For his height, it feels like just back of a length is his natural length, isn't it?
Yeah, so for me, like, whereas George is probably from that 5 or that 6 there.
Oh, that's better, isn't it?
That's his sort of area.
Well,
And gets 4.
I was going to say, it feels like a bit of a lucky 4 because I think Alex Davis was trying to angle it down, but it got up on him too much.
And that's what we love to see. Like from a neutral's point of view, that is Willaroo's length.
Yeah.
What he was trying to do with the first 2 balls, trying to get it up there, see if it swings. Leave that to the guy who's 6 foot, maybe 5'11", needs to swing it. But you think about yourself, Willaroo here probably about 6'3", 6'4". A lot of bounce, running well outside his 30-yard circle, running in from 30 meters backwards, running bowling to the stature of Alex Davis. That's a better length, and Alex Davis stands up tall and punches it to mid-off.
That's good over so far for the Bears. On to 9 from the over, 20 on the scoreboard. Davis off to a flyer here, 15 from 10. Latham a bit more considered. He's on 4 from the 6 balls he's faced so far. 145 more required for victory. So the run rate at the moment around 8.3. And look, we've even got a wasp on our screen, 86% in favour of the Bears, I'm assuming. Because that's quite a hefty switch. I'd have thought it might be a little bit tighter than that, but O'Rourke again.
It's hitting the bat quite hard there, Adam, just by the sound of it here in the headphones and off the stump mic. I think this would be a typical net battle. Pretty sure these guys have faced each other quite a lot in training. So O'Rourke would know a lot about how Latham goes about his stuff, and then likewise Latham would know a lot about how O'Rourke goes about his bowling. So you can see immediately pulling the length back, not giving Latham any room.
Last ball of the over then.
Oh,
it's a beautiful drive, but a terrific stop as well. Excellent bit of work from David Milan,
making up
in
for
the
the
covers.
one in the previous.
Yeah, really nice.
2 balls.
3 overs gone then. The score 20 without loss for the Bears, chasing down that total of 165 for victory.
Change
9
of bowling.
runs
Don Best.
off O'Rourke's first over. And it is going to be Don Best who's coming on. Simon Rowley's been in touch with a comment as well. Lynn Tottenham-Briggs never let us down. And Hassan bowled well without reward. Good stuff. We want to hear your comments. You can do it in a couple of ways. Of course, when you're looking at the YouTube stream, you can leave a comment on there. Or, of course, you can get in touch at any of our social media channels at Warwickshire CCC is what you're after. Sling us your messages over and we'll show as many as we can before we finish tonight. Don Best is into the attack with the score on 20 without loss after 3 overs. And it's going to be Alex Davis to face up first up. 20 on the board. And that will become 21 with the opening single from Don Best. He's a guy who obviously had a dabble in international cricket, but it's all gone a little bit quiet for Dom subsequently. I mean, he's obviously been at Yorkshire, but what's his T20 numbers like?
Very good.
Oh,
I was just about to touch upon them. So he's on 47 wickets for the time being. That's in his career, 46 of which have come for Yorkshire. And in terms of economy rates, it's under 8 and over, which is pretty decent in the modern era. So I think he goes under the radar, to be honest.
He does. He's in. Oh, that's lovely from Latham. It's just a little reverse tickle. Absolute beauty.
A lot of pace on it.
Yeah, it's going all the way for 4. That was a really clever shot, that recorder.
Lovely little reverse paddle. Shows his international quality there, Tom Latham. Steady operator for New Zealand and showing his international quality here for the Bears tonight.
Oh, he's been struck on the pad, but he's a long way down. I think
Gotta
Best was a little bit hopeful for that one.
And it looked like it was outside the line as well.
Yeah, he'd done a lot of movement with his feet there. Latham, for me, always feels more of a test player for New Zealand. What's his kind of numbers like in T20?
Well, we'll touch upon it after this delivery, but I would agree with that synopsis, to be honest, Adam. I've always seen him as more of a first-class player.
Passing again. Davis
Can he
will
get
work
to
it.
single out to deep mid-wicket?
And they've already got the boundary off the over, so no need to take any risks, is there, when you're only chasing a total around 165. So his numbers in T20?
Yeah, not as good as they are in first class. So 2,713 runs for Tom Latham.
And I'm guessing he's more of an accumulator as a wide ball he's given than a big striker. Strike rate, well, 120, I'm going to guess that.
129, but there
Okay.
is something interesting to note about Tom Latham, is the fact that even though he doesn't score too many boundaries, as Best comes into bowl to the Kiwi here,
No run.
yeah, the majority of his boundaries are actually from sixes,
Oh, okay.
which is interesting. So we saw that against Durham. He tried to wind up for a big one against Callum Parkinson out towards deep mid-wicket.
8 off the overs so far, and that may well race away for at least 2, you would feel, as Latham and Davis charge. It will be 2. And again, it becomes another good over with 10 off it in total. 9 accredited to Best, of course, but 30 without loss then. 4 overs in. Davis on 17, Latham on 10.
And what's that 10? That was a steady 10, low risk 10, calm 10.
Well, the thing is, when you're chasing this kind of total and you've got, what is it, the run rate that they're looking at, 8.4, the required run rate. If you get your boundary early, it just makes the over far more easier to deal with, doesn't it? And probably as a bowler, a little bit frustrating for you because you know if they've got that boundary early, they're probably not going to take too many risks for the rest of the over.
Yeah.
So it's for you to then try and kind of work out the problem, isn't it?
100%. And as again, if we can win this game 10 without losing a wicket, 10 wickets in hand, that net run rate again, Adam, looks very, very different. And I think great shot by Alex, just hitting it out to deep backward square for a single here off Moriarty. So I think just getting out of this power play, managing this total really well. Of course, we'd love to chase it down within 15 overs, 30 balls to spare with no wickets. The ideal world. But I think the way the start of this run chase is quite clinical so far.
Yeah, I'd say 50 without loss in the power play. I think everyone would be quite happy with that, wouldn't they? That would be a good step in the right direction.
Moriarty just pausing there on ball release, seeing if Tom Latham would use his feet or try to step away to the leg side to create that room to hit it through to the offside. And now he does come down the ground and chips into the leg side for one. A little bit, as Artif would say, a bit of cat and mouse.
Yeah, it is at the moment, isn't it? 32 without loss. Davis goes on to strike. Latham moves on to 11. 3 balls left in this 5th over.
I think the two out there now need to sense that, look, Yorkshire doesn't look like they know how they're going to get a wicket. So if we could just close out this power play, give them nothing, and make them have to work really hard for it. He's got a good hand to it there, but it's just about stop the boundary. Still get 2 runs there, Alex Davis.
Yeah, a little parry just did enough to take the sting out of Davis's shot. And it's been no risk cricket from Alex Davis so far, which I think is good to see.
Yeah.
I think he took a risk early on against Durham and paid the price for it. Had a good innings over at Trent Bridge last Friday. Some real big boundaries on that occasion. But here, just not taking any chances. 34 without loss.
Oh,
Full
and
toss.
full toss into the Hollies for 6.
You don't need to take chances when you're served up pies like that by Moriarty. Put away, all the way.
Thank you very much. And like I said, Yorkshire doesn't look like they know how they're going to get a wicket here. So if the Bears can be quite clinical and punish them, really punish them and make them really work hard for it outside of this power play, we could be seeing a clinical run chase here.
It's the sort of pie that deserves chips and gravy, that one. That was just served up to Alex Davis.
Gleefully accepted. Last ball of the over, sweeps again, backward of square, just for the single.
Well, that's really nice. 41 without loss then. 5 overs in. Ricardo, thank you. We'll speak to you in a while. Ricardo is on his way. Aaron, in terms of the start, I mean, that's a really impressive start, isn't it? 41 without loss after 5 overs.
It certainly is, and I was just about to make the cut comparison. We'll have it at the end of this 6th over, of course, with the power play, but in terms of the two sides' run scoring, very similar. Yorkshire were on 43, the Bears are on 41 from 5, but of course the key will be wickets in this run chase.
Certainly will. Davis on 27, Latham on 11, partnership 41. He's back.
He's back. He's absolutely back.
Every bad penny returns. Someone once said.
Turns up.
There
you go.
There we go.
There we go.
It's Milnes who's going to continue from the far end, and it's ticking over quite nicely.
It is. I wonder if Ricardo's disappointed they didn't get to his bright and breezy 60 for the power play. Although there's 19 to get. If they get 19 this over, that's a bright and breezy 60.
I think he did concede for a moment that actually 50 at the end of the power play would be fine, given what they're chasing. And that's going to be a wide ball from Milnes. We're just saying, though, before you rejoined us, that Alex Davies it's no risk cricket right now.
No.
It's, we're seeing proper cricket shots, and then when he gets served a pie like that full toss, he's dealing with it beautifully.
Well, this is it. He doesn't need to take any major risks. He's without really a shot in anger. He's on 27 off 16 balls, and that'll easily get him where he needs to be.
And it'll get the Bears where they need to be. You think, oh, and there he goes. He's wrapped that into his face, I think. He's almost knocked his helmet off. And that will lead to a concussion check as ever. The question is, did he catch the lid or did he catch his head? I think he's probably caught the lid of his helmet there.
Yeah, there's a physio running on right now just to make sure he's okay.
That's Ollie Hannon.
Oh, it's OHT's running on, so maybe physio won't be far behind. There we go.
Yeah.
Physio not far behind. That looked really dangerous, actually. I think he's okay. I think you can tell sort of by the look of him, he's all right. But he just looks, it's very dangerous. And just a reminder, everybody who's practicing that ramp shot at home and at home, maybe not at home, but like in your nets or your clubs or whatever, just be very, very careful. It's a dangerous shot to execute. Even sort of world-class players like Alex Davies can sort of get it wrong, and it could have been really ugly. That he's lucky to have just got it on his helmet. We might get a replay of it. I mean, we'll wait and see, but it's it could have gone very wrong. But I think he's okay. This is a good protocol, obviously, just to make sure the players are looked after, and sometimes the adrenaline kicks in and then you don't really register. Here we go, we're going to take another look at it. It just could have been really nasty, looking for the ramp straight into the top of the beak of the helmet, which is what pushes it up in the air off his head. So he's okay, thankfully. You can see there's no sort of abrasions or anything like that. Even his hair hasn't really gone out of place, so he's all right. But just a reminder to everybody, just be careful with the ramp shot.
The grill and also the lid just doing its job. Often we do see a change of helmet, so that may take a second while they run. Yeah, there's a couple of spares being run out from down below, which is good. Matt Milnes, I mean, he's a cricketer who's been around a little bit with varied success. Would that be a fair statement?
Well, he was outstanding for Kent, especially in the year that the Spitfires won in 2021, was their leading wicket taker in that season. Unfortunately, has struggled with injury in the past couple of years. In fact, in the season opener in 2025, that was his first T20 match since 2023. It was his first T20 for Yorkshire as well. So I think he's a very, very good bowler. He's just been very unlucky with injuries, and we keep our fingers crossed that he can have a full campaign, because, as I said there, with that incredible performance for the Spitfires in 2021, I'll tell you what, he is a bona fide wicket-taking option. And gents, I know earlier we had the chat about the T20I. Would we like a score update?
Yes, please. Yeah.
From the Riverside. So England dismissed, or I should say restricted, to 188 for 6. Joss Buttler scoring 96, as is often the case, usually in the runs. In response, after 5.2 overs, the West Indies 40 for 2.
Okay.
No, it's probably not as many runs as we thought we'd get, but it's still a fair few, and I think England will get home. Do you know, don't look this up, just a quiz question for you. Do you know how many T20 international hundreds Joss Buttler has?
T20 international?
Yeah.
No.
Just the one.
Okay.
He's got one T20 international 100.
Milnes is in again, and this time it's Latham who just flicks it away with a conventional scoop, really. And it's 4 more to the total, 47 without loss. Latham on to 15.
He just punched gloves with Davies there with a little little smile. That's how it's done, my friend. It's wide outside the off stump. No danger of playing that one onto your helmet, and just picked it up quite nicely there. Just flat bat.
I'm just going to preempt Aaron on this one. Be quite handy to have a little check on the rest of the North group, just to see how the other scores have gone at some point through this second innings. That's turned into the leg side by Latham, and he's picked his spot really well there, actually. Just allowed them to come through for a single and move the scoreboard on to 48 without loss.
Would you like a shot at Joss Buttler related trivia? Like, do you want a shot at redemption?
Yeah, well, I wasn't far off. I said none.
All right. Overall T20 hundreds.
7.
Very close. You're only off by 1 again.
Oh, damn. And I'm not a proper statter. Oh, and he's edged that as Davis, and it's been put down. Well, he followed that, got something on it, and it's been put down by Duke, I think.
Yeah, just held its line a little bit.
Bounced before.
Yeah,
I'm being harsh
it
on the
dropped short.
umpire.
Yeah, dropped short of the keeper, but he got a little bit of movement away, which was pretty good.
2 to go in this power play. Another quick single, good run in between the wicket for these two, and it brings up the Bears 50 as well. And it's come in just 35 balls, 50 without loss. Good opening partnership between these two as well.
Yeah, it's been superb stuff. As we say, they haven't really taken too many chances. They haven't had to really. Managed to accumulate at 8.5 runs and over without really taking any risks at all. So I think this is fair, and it's a good approach from the Bears, and it's not in the bag by any means, but it's a very, very promising start from the Birmingham Bears.
I guess it also is the advantage of chasing.
Yeah.
Because you know you're not chasing a mammoth.
Yeah.
So you can just go risk-free. Let's just play sensible.
Yeah.
I say risk-free when you ramp it into your own helmet. That's probably not risk-free for the team or for your own health, really, but he's just stepping away again, Alex Davis, not for the first time.
Did you see the reason for the delay the last time?
No.
Well, it was the police officers who were walking in front of the sight screen.
Dear, oh dear.
Yeah.
You think they would know better,
Well,
wouldn't you?
they were booed roundly by the crowd as well, which I found quite amusing. I was just on the balcony watching and get a bird's eye view of it. It was quite something.
Last ball of the over then from Milnes. Last of the power play as well, potentially. Oh, he almost played that onto his own stumps. But it's a good ball from Milnes. 12, though, from his 2 overs so far. And as we reach the end of the power play, the Bears are 50 without loss from their first 6 overs, Aaron.
Yeah, so there is the cut comparison. Yorkshire 49 for 1 after 6, the Bears 50 for none, and that's actually quite a rarity. It isn't that often that we see teams, especially the home side, go wicketless in the first 6 overs. So outstanding stuff this from Davis and from Tom Latham, and we can but hope that they can keep up this rip-roaring start as we head into the middle overs of the run chase.
Yeah, rip-roaring it has been 2, and we're going to see Jafar Chauhan now come into the attack. I think he's a player you like watching, I think.
Jafar Chauhan?
Yeah.
I've been sure as much as anybody else, yeah.
Well, no, I thought you enjoy an exponent of this. I always feel that you are a lover of this kind of bowling.
Leg spin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like leg spin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good fun. But I also,
also
like off spin.
No, I know, but it's. I mean, look at his run up. It's,
Yeah.
it's
I do
it's
like
this kind
unusual.
of quirkiness.
I like peculiar. Yeah, you're spot on.
I'm
I do
not
like.
articulating myself very well, but that's what I mean. Yeah, he's got a run up that's not dissimilar to a medium pacer.
No,
for a leg spinner.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're saying that's something that I might have done many moons ago, yeah, absolutely. I quite like the illusion of grandeur when it comes to the speed of my bowling. But it's I do. I love a good funky action, and there's so many of them about as well in modern cricket. And it's one of those things that differentiates you as a cricketer in this sort of this overblown world. There's so much talent out there, and you can make yourself stand out with a unique approach.
Well, you can, and it is literally a run up not dissimilar to a medium pacer, isn't it? It's, you look at the late great Shane Warne and how it was so simplistic,
Yeah.
and yet some of them now seem to overcomplicate it quite long run ups.
Yeah, but he did so much damage to his rotator cuff. Shane Warne with so much force. He was almost like a discus thrower in the amount of force that he'd put into every single delivery. So if you can find a bit of rhythm with a longer run up, I say why not?
Yeah.
Oof.
It's nicely played by Latham, and not quite going to reach the ropes, is it? Oh yes, it is. It was a good attempt at the field by Revis, but it's over the ropes for 4.
It was given the wah 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 music as well by the stadium sound announcer. It's a bit mean.
The only saving grace from him is he wasn't right in front of the Hollies.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that would have been the ultimate of shameful experiences, really.
It was a tough effort. He had a lot of ground to cover, to be fair.
56.
Oh, should have done better.
Without loss. 1 more to the total. Moves on to 57.
Getting a lovely sunset here at the moment in Birmingham. It was a beautiful night. Blast nights here at EdgBLASTon are quite something. It's always a wonderful atmosphere. It's one of those stadiums that, even when it's not full, retains a really, really significant atmosphere. And And you can sort of hear that coming through the coverage as well. I'm sure you can hear the crowd, the hush, the hum of the crowd.
I was going to say, there's always that little noise, isn't it? And Alex Davis has got that away for one more. It's a bustle, isn't it?
Yeah. There's something to it, and I know there's a lot of people in here because I already know it's going to take me a long time to get out of the stadium a bit later. But it's wonderful, and hopefully we'll have more of the same on Sunday. Another doubleheader coming up here at EdgBLASTon, so hopefully more crowds, more people coming to enjoy some great cricket.
Last ball of the over, 58, the score, and Latham just punches it down the ground, and they'll take the single. So it's 9 off the over. So again, just ticking over nicely. 7 overs gone, and we're 59 without loss. Over number 8 about to get underway. Latham is on strike.
I'm just looking at that beautiful sunset. Look at that skyline in the background of EdgBLASTon. It looks stunning, and it looks great in the footage, obviously, but if you were here right now, you would really be taking in some view.
Yeah, it's a real beauty. Latham round the corner. What a shot that is. Absolute beauty for 6. Effortless as well. He struck that so well.
It's a terrific shot. That it was on his hips. Just had to flick it away, as you say, off his pads, and so deftly done. Didn't have to put too much power into it either. It just kind of used the pace of the ball and just a little swivel, just a little short arm pull of the bat. It takes it all the way almost into the lap of Jarlath Eaton.
I can say almost landed in the sound tent down below, didn't it? That's a better ball, but it's still turned into the leg side and will be a single. Almost backing up what you were saying, Aaron, about Latham and his 6s as he strikes another one.
Yep, it does indeed. 20% of those boundaries come from 6s, or I should say 20% of his entire runs come from 6s. Wouldn't say that wouldn't be too necessarily good of a percentage, would it?
No.
Considering there's only 4s and 6s, so it's 20% of his entire career runs come from 6s, which compared to Alex Davis is quite a bit much higher.
Oh, really? Okay. They both got 31. Score is 66. It's pretty identical, apart from the fact that Davis has faced 2 less balls, but he's made up for that now. He's pulled that away for 6. Absolute beauty from Davis.
Yeah, it was a short ball into his arc and just flashed his bat across the line, hammered it over the square leg boundary for 6. It's a terrific shot, and again done with the economy of movement. Really, he was just there for it. Short, just put his bat through it nicely. Great contact as well. It's not the biggest boundary in the world. It was always going to clear it. Yeah, there he is, improving his 6 percentage, is Davies with that shot.
You clearly heard. Yeah, 13 off the first 3 balls. This is a dreadful start to the over for Yorkshire, and then turn around the corner for what will be yet another single. Well, we promise you some scores from elsewhere. Any interesting ones on the go, Aaron?
Yep, there are indeed. So we've had our first results in the North Group, and that's taken place at New Road, where Northamptonshire, the table toppers, have beaten Worcestershire by 31 runs. So that is the first result. We'll just have this delivery, and I'll take you through the next 2 as well.
Yeah, David Willey, I'm sure, has started. He started the season very well. I wonder if he's had an impact tonight as well, potentially, for Northants. That's a good bit of fielding, and restricting it just a single.
Yep, and then in the East Midlands derby, taking place in Derby, Derbyshire were restricted to 162 for 9. In response, Nottinghamshire 67 for 1. So the equation is 96 from the final 73, and we'll have the last update after this delivery from Matt Revis.
Yeah, Revis in again. That's a better ball. Probably the best one of the over, in fact, because he's gone for 15 prior to that. 74 without loss. Final score?
Yep, so that is taking place at Grace Road in Leicester, where Leicestershire scored 193 for 8. Durham in response 122 for 6, with former Bear Will Rhodes currently out in the middle on 13 runs. So
Love
quite
Will.
the ask there for Durham. 72 from 32 with 4 wickets remaining. So looks as though the Foxes will bounce back to winning ways there.
Brilliant. Thank you, Aaron.
That's a Bear alumni, a Bears TV alumnus. Alumnus.
Indeed.
Will
Kirsty's been in touch.
Oh.
Really good bowling innings, especially the last 5 overs or so. Much better line and lengths. Let's go well with the bat and get our first win, you Bears. Well, we'll see what we can do for you, Kirsty. Don't forget, you can send us your messages or your comments. You can leave them via the stream, of course, or alternatively, any of our social media platforms at Warwickshire CCC.
You know what? I'm very impressed that Kirsty remembered to put 2 Bears in that comment as well, because we have, of course, Hugh Bear, but we also have Carmen Bear.
We do?
So we got to rep them both, and you've done so in that comment, so well done you.
I like that.
I said hi to the pair of them a bit earlier.
Did they say anything back?
Not in words.
Oh, okay. Nice T-shirts they're wearing today.
Yeah.
They do look very natty today because it's our Rainbow Laces day, of course, here at EdgBLASTon, where everybody is included and everybody is welcome. Even Bears.
Even Bears.
Even
There we
real
go.
Bears, yeah.
Absolutely.
76 without loss. Nicely cut away. Going to get a single, though. What I would say is, we were talking this afternoon during the women's game about how you can just quickly roll through the overs with the spinner.
Yeah.
With this run-up, it's not a quick roll through, is it, at all, with Chauhan in any way, shape or form?
It's box office stuff.
It is.
I saw him dragging around his kit a little bit earlier, Chow. He's got a lot of kit with him. He's got like 3 kit bags that he's dragging with him.
Oh, wow.
That's quite a lot of stuff.
That's a lovely pull away from Alex Davis again. He's picked the spot. Despairing dive. All to no avail. 4 more for the total. And this partnership is looking lively for the Bears right now between Latham and Davis.
Yeah,
We're into the 80s.
Sorry, it's a terrific shot there. It was short, and he didn't try and hit it too hard. He knew that there were 2 fielders out in the deep, and he had to try and bisect them. He just picked the gap perfectly rather than aiming for raw power on that occasion, Davies. So looking very, very good today as the Bears captain.
Run rate now below 7.5 required. Oh, that's good. That's good. Is that close?
Oh, that looked pretty straight. I thought for sure I'd put the commentator's curse on him for a second because that one seemed to skid through straight. And it didn't look like there was too much wrong with it. We might get a replay and we'll be able to have a look at that. But it was... there we go. Let's have a look at the slow-mo replay. It looked very straight, this, to me. And let's have a look. Oh, maybe going down leg. Actually, fair enough. It's a good call by the umpire. Probably going down leg.
And then he gets 4 afterwards. Always the way, isn't it? You survive something close like that, and then you get 4 more for your total. And Alex Davis moves on to 47, the score in total now, 85 without loss after 9 overs.
Yeah, it wasn't the slickest shot that he's played, Alex Davis, but he got enough bat on it, and he knew he just had to beat the fielder up inside the circle. So either side, and it was going to be 4, and that's what he picked up. Some loose stuff there from Chauhan, that last ball. And he's going at 10s as well, and the run rate for the Bears is well in excess of 9 now. They're looking very, very strong. And that we talked about that sort of Galactico-esque batting lineup for the Bears today. We're not going to see. Well, it looks like we're not going to see most of it. No Moeen yet. No Mousley. No Hayne. Like, you know, these big players that we were excited to see.
Don Bess is in. That was 11 off Chauhan's last over. Bess is in and finding the pads of Latham. 80 required, 65 balls remaining, so it's not, I'm going to say it's comfortable, because that's a bad word to use. But Davis and Latham doing a good job, let's put it that way. I won't say they're making it look easy, because nothing's easy.
No, but they're managing this chase quite well, and they look like they're in control at the moment, I would say. I think that's fair to say. And got everything in hand thus far. Of course, things can change very quickly, so it's important they continue to apply themselves. But this has been a very promising and pleasing start from the Bears.
And it will come as no surprise. It's a wonderful cricket wicket again from Gary and his team. It's played nicely for both the women's game this afternoon and the men's this evening. Double header again for you on Sunday. 2 separate streams, of course. We are a 12 o'clock start for the women's game, 4 o'clock start for the men on Sunday.
We'll be back for that. Good fun. We'll have another couple of double headers to look forward to. See how another pitch plays there.
Down the ground from Latham. Oh, Best got a hand to that. Good enough to take the sting out of it. And means it's just a single. Not a bad over from Best so far, to be fair. Just the 3 singles from it today.
It's not his best over, but it's pretty good.
I was going to say he's not really threatening anyone, is he? Why are you laughing?
Sorry, it was a joke between Aaron and myself.
Oh, that's a good shot. Oh! And it's all the way for 4. And Davos gets his 50. 52 off 30 balls. And the skipper delivering for the Bears this evening. Terrific inning so far.
Yeah, it's been a terrific knock. As we say, a controlled innings. He hasn't taken too many chances. That was probably the chanciest of his shots so far, really. A sort of difficult opportunity for the deep backward square leg fielder. It's always going to be tough, that. If he took it, it would have been an absolute spectacular catch. But it's gone for 4 and a well-earned 50 for the Warwickshire captain. Last
ball of the over, and it's a dot ball for Best. 92 without loss then from the 10 overs that we've seen. Latham 36, Davis on 52, of course. Just a reminder, of course, if you are near your computer right now and you're hovering over the mouse button or whichever, maybe you're watching on your phone,
yeah, probably on your phone
or your tablet.
Yeah.
Well, you know, some people might watch on a computer.
I think if we looked it up, the percentages of people watching on their computers would be in the under 15%.
Should we get Aaron to do that?
Yeah, we should. I think we should get.
But you can watch the YouTube on your telly now, can't you?
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's very easy to thumbs up on your TV.
It is thumbs up. So that's what you do. Just a thumbs up.
That's all you got to do. Just to give us a like. Be our friend.
Yes.
But just 1. Don't do 2.
Yeah, don't do 2.
Because that takes it away.
We've established 2's bad. 1 is good, 2 is bad. Moriarty is on. We're at the halfway point. We'll get a comparison from Aaron in a moment because we were too busy gassing about things like thumbs and what people are watching on. And in the meantime, there's a terrific reverse sweep from Latham for 4. Really nice from Tom Latham to take him up to 40. And we can find out the comparison after 10 overs.
We can indeed, yes. So Yorkshire were 87 for 2 after 10. The Bears currently 96 for none. They were 92 for none. And you know what, lads, I can go even better because this is a record opening stand by a Warwickshire pair or Bears pair in the T20 against Yorkshire, surpassing the previous best of 86 between Ed Pollock and Adam Hose in 2021.
Wow.
Remember them? They're a couple of pairs now. Is there a line drawn? Are you always a bear until you become a pair?
Well, yeah, it's a bit like going from Arsenal to Tottenham, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
But it is. I feel like once a bear, always a bear sticks around. You know, you've got to have that universal ethos.
Yeah, I suppose you do.
Yeah, but
I mean.
Well, the record is now history.
Well, it is.
Yeah,
so we can forget about it.
Yeah, it's all about Latham and Davies now.
It is 97. Can they bring up the century partnership? Davis on strike, pulls it round the corner with a sweep. Gets 1 for his trouble, moves on to 53, 98 without loss. 3 balls remaining in over number 11. Only 67 more required to win here. 57 balls left as well.
And a chance to win this game by 10 wickets. Wouldn't that be something?
Well, listen, if they do something with their run rate and it stops Ricordo getting upset about it, then I'm all good for that, to be fair. 1 more to the total, 99.
Yeah. A victory without dropping wickets is huge for net run rate, and that's something that we know can become a huge factor in the Blast. And if the top 4 finishes all well and good, but those net run rates do come into play. So it's something that they've got an opportunity to improve upon.
Here's Moriarty, and that's going to be the 100 partnership between these two, Tom Latham and Alex Davies. Excellently done. Brought up in the 11th over as well. They've done it off 71 deliveries, so a good scoring rate as well between the captain and Tom Latham.
Yeah, they've played beautifully here, just really laid down the platform, didn't take any chances, used that advantage of knowing how to play for their chase, and just really, really played beautifully here.
Moriarty in again. Turned into the leg side. 1 more to the total.
They're looking oh so comfortable. The first time, I'm curious where this lands in overall partnerships. So maybe we're going to go for a little break for a second, but when we come back, perhaps we could have that.
Yeah, 101 for naught after 11 overs. Best to continue from the far end, pulled away by Latham into the leg side. I was just thinking while everyone was away for a moment, we were watching OHD and Craig Miles out into the middle. You do some mileage when you're the 12th man, don't you?
You do some mileage when on commentary as well. I've done a fair few steps today, just running up and down, What am I on? Just shy of 7,000. Not bad.
You've not quite managed your 10 for today, then.
Well, I was driving for half the day, to be fair.
There's a shot from Davis. He just holds his head back because he feels he should have done better with that. He gets a single. Partnership up to 103. I'm guessing from memory, the highest partnership involves Brendan McCullum.
Yes, it does. 160.
I was here, yeah, for that.
Yep, against Derbyshire in 2015.
Sensational batting. That's a lovely shot from Latham, is it? No, he's picked the man out. No, he's picked the man out. And he's gone for 44. The partnership ends at 103. I think Revis with a catch off the bowling of Don Bess. And Latham's on his way. 44 from 34. And the first wicket is down. 103 for 1.
Yeah, I mean, looking to just up the pace a little bit. He's going to have to go, but he's played a really good innings there, Latham. 44 off 35 in the circumstances is exactly what was required by the Birmingham Bears. And he sort of lobbed a really easy catch, of sort of almost a soft dismissal, really, in a way, at this point in the innings. But the bulk of the job is almost done. Alex Davies is still out there. They've got a record partnership, so he can walk back off feeling very satisfied with himself. And the crowd here at EdgBLASTon will get a glimpse of at least one more of these Midlands Galacticos.
Yeah, Dan Mousley is coming out. So, Moeen Ali was on the card to come at 3. Ain obviously usually comes at 4, and Dan a bit lower, but I think they like the right-left combo.
I think that there is.
They could have had Mo, couldn't they?
There's an element of that, but also maybe just thinking, let's get Mousley out there a little bit in the middle. Let's get him some time out in the middle here at EdgBLASTon in these colours, and see. He's going to be a big part of this campaign for the Bears. So not to say that Moeen isn't, but I feel like Moeen's got a slightly different role. Yep. Mosley's going to have to spend a lot more time batting, I imagine, than Moeen. So it's a valuable time out in the middle, I imagine, in a low-pressure environment.
62 more required, 51 balls remaining, 9 wickets in hand as Dan Mousley comes to the crease.
Look at him counting the fielders in the offside.
Yeah, Best just delaying and taking his time for a moment. He's in one and thinks about a second, but never really on.
It's just a sort of mini game of one-upsmanship between the batter and bowler. There was Mousley making Best wait, and then Best making Mousley wait, and then Mousley thinking, oh, just 1 second, I just want to count the fielders. And he's, oh, you can go ahead and count them. I'm going to take a second as well.
It's all in the mind, isn't it? Davis swings that into the leg side. Just be one.
More there on offer there, really, for Davis. He tried to hit it a little bit too hard. He sort of knew that. You could see the frustration as he hit it. He picked up a single, but if he just held his shape a little bit more, went either side of the field or at the backward square leg, could have picked up a boundary. It might be inconsequential, really, at this point, but it's something that he'll be working on for sure.
4 singles and the wicket in the over after an LBW decision. Not forthcoming, surprise, surprise. 12 overs gone. Neil Diamond appears to have been warming up for a while, and it's time for that with the score on 106 for 1 from 12 overs. Not a bad over from Bess all round, really, that last one, just 5 singles from it. And at this point, though, Yorkshire were just starting to tick into overdrive. 110 for 2 at this stage, Aaron. It did go wrong soon after that, but they were in a strong little partnership at this point.
They were, yes. It was between the captain, Dawid Malan, and James Wharton. So, yeah, after that partnership was broken by Jake Lintott in the 15th over, well, everything came tumbling down as far as the visitors were concerned. So maybe that might just linger in the back of the mind of the Bears here. They can't get carried away and think, you know what, we're in a strong position. They've got to play this on its merits and play sensible cricket for these remaining overs.
8 to go. 59 required. Mousley swings it away. They'll just get 1. Thoughts of a second there after a misfield by the keeper, Duke. I think Luxton with a really powerful throw in that time.
Yeah, it's a sort of relatively short boundary towards the leg side as well. And it's Yeah, Mousley he was doing his counting thing again just before that delivery. He likes to do his counting thing. 1, 2,
Everyone
3,
has a
4.
thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. I find it quite interesting. Just he wants to know exactly how many people are in the covers at any given time. I wonder if he does it when he's at when he's not batting.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, Trotty used to have his thing, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, Jay Soria was my favourite. He touched himself in 8 different places before every ball.
I don't want to know. 107 for 1. 12.1 overs. 58 required to win. Giant again. Well played for a single for Alex Davis, who's, I suppose from here, if you're Alex Davis, you're thinking, I just need to hang around till the end now, and I can let my Galacticos at the other end do their thing.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, he's done the hard work. He laid down the foundation, but he'd like to stick around and just carry his bat, which is always good for the averages and all that kind of stuff as well. But just to know that he's seen his team through to their first victory of the season's blast.
Decent strike rate as well. Swept by Mousley with power and precision for 4. Just the despairing dive. Not enough that time of Luxton. And Mousley's first boundary. 112 for 1.
Terrific shot. Just picked up the length really quickly. Got his big stride out. Down on one knee. And just powerfully, as you say, swept it along the surface. Didn't worry too much about the fielder. He wasn't too far away from the fielder, but it was struck so well. The fielder at deep backward square leg or the fielder at mid-wicket weren't really going to be in the chase.
I saw the highlights of his knock on the road down at Canterbury for the England Lions, but again, just terrific to see him playing with such fluidity and freedom, and that's lovely. He's reversed that away, and he actually sent the fielder the wrong way for a moment. He wrong-footed him, and it's 4 runs.
And he didn't hit it. He just caressed that ball away for 4. It was just a remarkable shot. Adjusted. He was looking to hit it hard. It was the bowler slowed it up a little bit, so he slowed down his shot a little bit and didn't hit the ball hard. Literally just gave it a little caress, just a little tap on its way through. Picks up another boundary, but just such a deft stroke from Mousley. Such a it's aesthetically pleasing player to watch sometimes.
116 for 1. Kenny's turned that one round the corner. He's manipulating the field nicely here. It'll only be a single this time. Expensive over so far.
And they're rushing towards it now. Nearly brought it down to a runner ball required. Mousley, he's understood the assignment, and that is to keep the scoring rate up, going at a strike rate of 200 at the moment from his 6 balls thus far.
I'm trying to work out Alex Davis's, about 160. I'm sure we'll be told in a moment by Aaron All. They've tried to get him down the leg side. He's given us a wide instead. Alex Davis's current strike rate, quickly, sir?
158.33.
That was close.
Very close. That was good maths.
For someone who didn't have an A-level in maths,
That's pretty good. Yeah, he did great there, man.
Good guess.
You're on fire today. You were very close with the 2 Joss Butler guesses.
Close but no cigar every time, my friend.
I don't know. I feel like you get half a cigar in cricket. A used cigar.
Yeah. 118 for 1. 47 required of 43. Last ball of the over. Davis again just checks his sweep, and he doesn't quite find the gap this time. But one more to the total. 119 for 1 after 13 overs. And the Bears ticking over very, very nicely indeed, for sure. So don't forget, plenty of doubleheaders coming up. This is a big one on Saturday, the 14th of June. The Bears playing the Outlaws and the Falcons against Foxes. It's called Midlands Mania. And Joel Corey, a man who has 5 top 10 UK singles to his name, one of the best DJs and music makers around, is going to be performing live.
If you had to describe his music using other people, like give me a little cross.
Music. It's dance music.
So like a cross between something and something like that.
He gets mentioned in the realms of the likes of, Calvin Harris, Guetta, those kind of people. He's a DJ.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
He's done lots of work with the likes of Ella Henderson, with Becky Hill, people like that. So it's proper dance.
I very much look forward to it.
All right, should be good.
I'll bring my dancing shoes.
19 for 1. Are they different to your normal shoes?
Nah, every pair of shoes I wear are dancing shoes. No, they don't. No, like, I'm just looking forward to that. It'll be nice, and I like that these kind of times. They're nice. Like just getting the fans involved, getting building a broader appeal as well. Just making it a day out, rounded day out for people to come out and enjoy. Obviously, very high standard of cricket as well. A team with such a wonderful history. Teams visiting with great histories and
4
traditions
teams
themselves.
Yeah. It'll be a cracker of a day, that's for sure. Plenty of live music as well, so you can get your tickets right now for Midlands Mania. We'll of course be on air as well with Bears TV 2. 120 for 1. 2 balls into this 14th over. Milne's back into the attack. Talking of dancing shoes, are we allowed to mention that you obviously recently got married? What did
I did.
Your first dance was,
Well, we didn't do like a sort of formal first dance, but it was sort of like a very just dance floor is open type thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
everybody sort of jumps in, and it was all sort of there was no dibs on it kind of thing. I think my wife's friends were of the opinion that, well, you get her forever now, so we get her today. So
Oh,
we're all
okay. No, that's
kind of, I was fair enough. Everybody just have fun.
that makes sense. That's
Yeah.
how it should be. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I was dumbfounded on social media when I saw pictures going, look, I've got married. It's like, okay, it's a great moment.
Well, interesting enough, I didn't actually post it myself.
No,
My employers decided to post it for me.
Well, yeah, I was going to say.
It was very humbling. BBC Test Match Special announced it for me. My partner wasn't pleased that she didn't get to pick the picture that they used, but yeah, thank you very much. It was lovely.
There was lots of social media outlets posting it, wasn't there? Because she's fairly famous.
Yeah. Second most famous person in my own relationship now, Bridget.
It's a bit like I've always been in line with my wife, don't you worry. 121 for 1. 3 to go in this 14th over. It's a nice shot. He's going to get 2 for that, I think, due to the clever positioning of it. Right between 2 fielders. Really nice from Alex Davis.
Yeah, he's just worked it out, hasn't he? He's worked out where his areas are right now, where the easy runs are as well for him. And he just wants to just keep closing it out without taking too many chances. He doesn't want to take any more chances. He was looking at that aerial sweep for a while, but he knows there's a fielder out deep, and he doesn't really want to go to him if he doesn't have to. So squeezing out the 2s, and great fitness, obviously, as well. Just kept wicket for 20 overs.
And again from the far end, and it's just well fended on this occasion. This is not Milnes, this is O'Rourke, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's O'Rourke as well.
I think
yeah.
that the big screen scoreboard and our graphics are wrong. It's O'Rourke who's steaming in from the far end.
Yeah, big man, unmistakable as well. O'Rourke, well spotted as well. I was going to say, it was your early pick even for the Talbots Player of the Match.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because I think probably Davo is going to be in line for it, but I think you can't look beyond the contributions as we saw. Oh, that's got up again. No surprise from O'Rourke on Alex Davis. We've got something on that. No run. So 3 overs gone from, second over that was from O'Rourke. 1, 2, 3 for 1 from 14 overs.
Yeah, he's a tall man, Will O'Rourke, and he extracts that bounce that you sort of expect from a seam bowler as well. And Davis, obviously he's not short, but he's not the tallest player either. So he can climb on him a little bit from a taller bowler. So he just had to wear one, but at most it's a moral victory.
Still behind on the comparison as well, quite remarkably. 11 runs behind at this moment in time. At this stage, Aaron, Yorkshire were 134 for 2, and this is just before the kind of cricketing equivalent of an earthquake shook when they lost those 5 quick wickets.
Well, it was this over, wasn't it? Over number 15, it was Jake Lintott getting 2 wickets. That of Wharton and Revis went for just 5 runs as well. All of a sudden, turned that 134 for 2 into 139 for 4 runs. You can argue that was the catalyst. So, big over here for Yorkshire from that perspective.
Lovely E in the sky. Milnes is now coming on to bowl, and he's got a wicket. And he's got the wicket of Dan Mousley for 13 off what will be 8 deliveries, and 123 for 2. Well, we just talked about the wickets starting to tumble for Yorkshire at this point. The Bears have lost one now. Mousley's on his way, and it's 123 for 2.
Yeah, it's a good catch actually from Duke behind the stumps, because it was just moving away ever so slightly from him. So could have wrong-footed him, but he is concentrating. It's very easy to sort of let your concentration dip as well at this point in the innings, with the game sort of drifting away from you. And Mousley will be disappointed. That was a chance to spend some time out in the middle, but he's on his way back, and I wouldn't worry about it too much from a Bears perspective. 42 required of 35 with 8 wickets in hand. Should be pretty straightforward. You can also tell by the celebrations of the Yorkshire players. I mean, we can see David Milan, who's got sort of half a smile on his face, but generally speaking, they're cutting a sort of a bunch of players all resigned to their fate at the moment, I would say.
Sam Hain enters the fray at this point. I mean, we could roll through some Sam Hain statistics at this point. There are so many of them, my friend.
Yeah, there certainly are. He's the 15th leading run scorer in the history of the T20 Blast. He's the leading run scorer in the history of the Bears in this competition. He's 84 runs shy of 4,000 runs in the competition as a whole, and one of the best stats for Sam Hain. He's played for 9 seasons for this club. He's been the leading run scorer in 6 of them.
Wow. Milnes is in. Hain, as ever, is off the mark first ball. He always likes to get off the mark first ball, and he's done it this time again.
Yeah, he's just such an accomplished player. I mean, just listening to all of those milestones and accomplishments and records that we've just heard. It's mind blowing the kind of career he's already had. And obviously, we talk about the fact that he hasn't played for England more, only really getting a look in last year for the first time, really.
And he did really well.
And he did really well, but speaks to the depth of talent that England have at the moment.
Cut away by Davis.
And more than that, it's not even just the depth of talent, but the direction in which England have decided to go, and he sort of didn't automatically fit the mould. Whereas when I look at Sam Hain, I look at him as a player that instantly fits England. An ODI team for certain. Absolutely fits that mould. You could see him partnering Joe Root in the middle of the competition, and theoretically could be a big player for England in the 2027 ODI World Cup. But that remains to be seen.
124 for 2. Cut away by Alex Davis and cut away for 4. He moves on to 65. It feels like, to me, Aaron, this is Davo's highest score for a while.
It is, and it's actually one of his highest ever. It's in his almost in his top 5 now, but it's definitely his highest against Yorkshire. The previous one was 43, so it's the first time he's surpassed the 50 mark against the Northern County. Also, one final stat about Sam Hain before we move back onto the action, but he is the leading run scorer in T20 fixtures between these two sides.
Oh, there's a surprise. Bit of room for Alex Davis. He's lifted that one up into the air. He's going to be caught this time, and he is. And Rivers takes the catch. And it's another wicket for Milnes. It's the second in the over. Not that we're wishing to tempt fate. Remember, Yorkshire lost 2 in this over as well. 128 for 3 it goes to now. Davis on his way for 65.
Yeah, that's disappointing, really, because he didn't really need to do that at that point at Alex Davies. Maybe a little rush of blood, looking for back-to-back boundaries, looking to take down the bowler. But he's walking off to a very, very nice reception from the crowd here at EdgBLASTon. He's batted brilliantly, as we've just heard, his best score against Yorkshire and one of his best scores overall. A score that will give him a lot of confidence at the top of the order as well, because it's going to be a long old season and he's going to be required to perform over and over again. And well, there we go. Hassan Ali makes his way out to the middle. We get a big cheer. So maybe a little flourish to finish off today's proceedings would be good. But maybe a little moment of alarm, though. 37 of 31,
yeah.
And only because of what we've seen in the first inning.
Yeah,
so
very much.
I've seen enough crazy things in cricket to know that you should never, ever, ever count your chickens.
No, and you're going back to your question a few minutes ago. Who's the early shout for the Talbot's Law player of the match? And I think, based on a lot of his captaincy as well, and the runs, Alex Davis would be my choice, because he got a lot right in the field, particularly with some of the field placings, I think.
Oh, Jake Lintott had a good little...
Only if your captain tells you,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
Moeen's in, and he's off the mark. First ball. And there's always potential for some buzzers there, but no. 129 for 3 then, end of the 15 over. Artif will be back, and I'll return in a moment with Ricardo alongside me. .129 for 3. We have 5 overs remaining. 36 to win off 30 balls. And Matt Milnes completed his over. I wonder if Don Best is going to continue. It looks like he is at the far end, or he's going to come back at the far end, should I say, because O'Rourke had a bowl previously. So the loss of Alex Davis, 2 wickets in that last over. Mousley and Davis on the way.
I think the Bears will be looking back at that thinking cardinal sin committed here, having 2 new batters at the crease towards the back end of the innings. It's not ideally where they would like to be placed at the moment, but two experienced batters nonetheless, so should manage this chase towards the end here pretty well.
We should be 36 more required off the final 5 overs. And Hassan Ali is on strike. Also, I guess the overriding memory for Moeen batting in a Bears shirt will be the innings against Worcester, of course. He goes down the ground straight away.
Effortlessly lofts it over extra cover for a single.
Well, he did just 1 to the total. It's not taken too much time to get his eye in there.
No, he hasn't, and yeah, great memories from last summer, especially that game against Leicestershire, of course. We weren't covering it here on Bears TV. I was sat down in the Stanley Barnes stand as he brought up that magnificent 100, his first for the Bears in T20. So, yeah, great to see Moeen, and hopefully, fingers crossed, he gets this farewell campaign that he deserves. He's an absolute legend of the English game.
Yeah, he is. Scored some decent runs here, wearing Worcester colours as well, from memory. Far end. In it comes to Hayne, turns it around the corner. 1 more to the total.
Yeah, steadily going about the job here.
Did I wake you up then? Sorry.
No, just watching with intrigue and a bit of intensity, wondering how we got into this situation. But like I said, 2 experienced campaigners are out there, so we should get to the win.
Well, you would think so, unless one of them has a rush of blood to the head, but there's still plenty of batting still to come, of course. It's been quite bizarre, really. We've seen Ed Barnard being the Midland centre of the 2 games so far, and we've not, apart from running around the field a bit, we've not seen anything of him tonight.
And it's quite interesting to see how different teams go about doing their jobs. Like, look, we've had far more seam from Yorkshire today than we've had from the Bears. We had Zafar Chauhan, handy operator, going at almost 10s so far of his 4 overs, and now you see Don Best doing what he does best, going at less than 7s, like what Aaron provided for us earlier on. Steady operator here as he bowls to Hassan Ali.
Because 4 singles off the over so far. Let's see if he can finish up with 1 more. But Mo's thinking, I want to have a little pop at him, but it's only going to be a single. So 5 off the over in total. Best finishes were 1 for 26 from his 4 overs. And we have 4 overs remaining here. 134 for 3 as things stand. Hayne is on 2. Moeen is on 4. And there's 31 more runs required from the remaining 4 overs.
I think Yorkshire might be thinking otherwise here. Going to Willow Rook, who's bowled really well. After him, then they've got Milnes, has probably got 1 more left. Best is finished. So probably thinking get a couple of wickets here, make it quite interesting going into the last couple of overs, because after this, we know we've got Barnard, we've got a bit of strength and depth, but those 30 runs might prove a bit tricky if we don't keep these 2 wickets in hand.
O'Rourke is going to come in then from this pavilion end this time. Hassan Ali's on strike. That's going to be a wide to start with, so 1 more to the total. We were just talking about the Talbot's Law player of the match potentially. I kind of feel Alex Davis is a bit of a shoo-in for it. Really. Yeah,
hands down. Like you said earlier on, captaincy, the way he's led that run chase there from the start. Only thing would be cherry on the top if he had still been out there just now, but can't have it all, can we?
30 required. Still 24 balls remaining. O'Rourke again. Cautious from Hassan Ali.
Sense a little bit of tension building.
Well, I think when you haven't got your first win of the season yet, and you've looked quite as calm and as comfortable as they have throughout this innings, then when all of a sudden, a couple of wickets go, there's always a wobble, and particularly, and I think it was very much made worse by what happened to Yorkshire earlier. Again, Moeen just was a bit of a heave, really. Didn't get much on it, but he does get 1 more to the total. 29 required now from 22. And I think David Milan as well, as Yorkshire captain's just going to be thinking, okay, we might be in this.
Yeah, 100%. You get that sense if you were out there and you were playing the game, you think, hold on here, boys, 29. You know, let's get out this over. 29 off 18, or maybe 26 off 18, boys. Someone's got to hit them. I know we've got Mousley at the crease and they've got Sam Hain at the crease, but Matt Milnes, he bowled really well here. So, you know what? If I can find one more over from someone, that will help.
Yeah, full toss.
Full toss.
Steered
One
away,
run.
but only for one. Are we seeing, I mean, look, you'll know more about this than me as to how long these balls stay. Are we seeing as the ball becomes a little bit softer? Because it's interesting, it's happened at the same point in the innings. Has the ball just got a little bit softer and all of a sudden it becomes a little bit harder to bat? I don't know. It's just weird that both teams have kind of got to that, like, 6 overs from home, and all of a sudden scoring runs has become a little bit trickier.
Against us, it was against spin.
Yeah.
Now it's here against the seam. So, yeah, you might be right. I think the wicket might be holding a little bit. It's not as easy to hit through the line of the ball. Is it just skidding on a little bit with the dew?
Yeah, it's certainly become more difficult as the evening has progressed. The big E's above EdgBLASTon are shining brightly. It's a delightful sky this evening across the city. 138 for 3.
Yorkshire just getting a little bit more perky out there, Adam. They are perking up a little bit. You can sense there's a little bit of belief trying to kick in. O'Rourke going in to Sam Hain.
Well, there would be a couple of dot balls, and there's potentially one of them. 138 for 3. So all of a sudden, if there's a dot ball now, you're looking at 27 from 3 overs, 9 and over. So we've gone from a run rate a little while ago that was just creeping down towards 7. Suddenly it's up at 9 and over.
Obviously,
Bears are still favourites. I mean,
yeah. We'll love to see where our Wasp's gone. So hopefully no one swatted it.
I think it may well have been swatted. Last ball of the over. Hain's got an outside edge on that, and it's going to go all the way for 4, is it? Yes.
Handy.
That will do.
Take him. You take him.
That will do. This leaves 23 off of 3 overs. So 18 balls remaining.
Yorkshire have to find an over from someone. Revis bowled 1 over for 15. Chowan is bowled out. Murati is not bowling at his best tonight. They have to find, for them to stay in this game, they have to find, there we go. He's gone to Milne. He's banker today. This is make or break with this over here.
It will be. I think it was a pretty safe shot, that, actually, from Sam Hain, wasn't it? Because
his
third man was quite wide and deep, so he could literally let his hands go on it a little bit. Yeah. Played it well. And that boundary makes all the difference at the end of that over. 23 from 3. Hain moves on to 8. Moeen is on 6. It's going to be Moeen on strike. And it's going to be Matt Milnes from the far end. No one moving. The night sky with our big scoreboard.
Shining nice and bright. I think this is the game here. Milnes has bowled really well tonight. Bowled some good areas. Out of the bowlers, look like he knows what his plans are and executed them really well. Here he is to Mousley. Strikes it strongly down to long on for a single.
Yeah, just one more to the total, but it all helps. 22 off 17 with plenty of wickets in hand. That's not really going to be the issue here for the Bears, like it was for Yorkshire, where David Milan was running out of partners towards the end. 1-4-3 for 3.
Managing this chase. Sam Hain at the crease. The man for any situation here for the Bears. He's proven that, like Aaron said, over the last 6 seasons. Multiple times last year when we were on air together, Adam. He showed his maturity, class and experience and guided the Bears home to a victory. So can he do it here tonight?
Milnes is in. Oh, it's hit him on the helmet. Just ducked into that.
Concussion protocol kicks in.
Yeah.
Come down the ground and ducked into it.
It'll go as a leg bye.
4 leg byes.
No, just the one.
Oh.
Yeah. Just took his eyes off it. Milnes there, but he'll have to be checked out, which he will be. Well, you talked about the fact that this Aaron, you mentioned it was going to be a record run chase, and it looked so comfortable for so long.
It did, but this is the difficulty now, because even though the Bears have still got plenty of wickets in hand, the issue is that scoreboard pressure, because we saw the collapse of Yorkshire, and I do imagine that'll be lingering in the backs of the minds as you just see Sam Hain get some treatment. Shall we also get some score updates from the rest of the North group? Feels like now would be
a good time to do that. I think Sam Hain's feeling that a bit.
Yeah, you could just see from the facial expression, just having a word with the physio, the umpire's almost signalling him to go off here, so we hope this isn't anything serious for the Bears talisman. In terms of the other games going on in the North group, we spoke about that result at New Road where Northamptonshire beat Worcestershire by 31 runs. I'll tell you what, the game at Grace Road, that was an absolute classic. Leicestershire emerging on top in that one by 6 runs. Casey Aldridge and Will Rhodes almost getting the visitors over the line, but the Foxes have done just enough to scamper away with the victory. And the third and final game aside from this one in the North group is arguably the most interesting one at the minute, because the match between Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire at the county ground in Derby has been delayed by a floodlight failure.
Oh dear.
The national grid has packed up in the East Midlands apparently. So yeah, there's currently a power outage in Derby, so we'll keep you updated as best as we can as Milnes comes into bowl here to Mousley Ali.
Yep, 21 required of 16. Sam Hain's okay, and we'll continue. That's up in the air, and it's
lands in no man's land.
Well, I was going to say that spent a long time up before that landed, but not enough time for the fielder to make the grounds. One more to the total, 20 required of 15.
On those scores there, Aaron, Leicester playing some good cricket this year.
Yep.
Championship. Can't remember the last time they won that many championship games in a row. But they're playing some really good cricket. Seem to find a good formula. James Taylor seems like he's doing a fantastic job.
Good group of young players, to be fair.
Yeah.
Milnes again. 3 to come in the over. 145 for 3. Hain is on strike. No wonder Milnes bowls him a slightly shorter ball, which Hain deals with. Gentleman's game cricket, isn't it? You just hit him on the head with a short ball, so you bowl another one. But it's one more to the total.
All is well in love and war, Adam. All is well.
This is true. Love, war and cricket. All's fair. Yeah.
All is fair. I'm surprised he's not bowling that length to Mousley Ali. Maybe it's because of the shorter leg side boundary, but word is that Mousley maybe not favours. Oh, what a crunching drive over the extra cover. Lands in between the two fielders, and he runs back for 2.
Yeah, he's only getting 2 for that. Not quite timing it as sweetly as we know he can.
Yeah. It's graceful play, isn't he, Mousley Ali, when he's going? Makes it look effortless.
He's into double figures. 10 from 11 deliveries so far. 17 required off of 13 balls. Murray on strike, but he's just having to adjust his pants and his shoes. So gloves were off. 6 off the over so far from Milnes. It's his final over. So again, 2 to find for David Milan. For Yorkshire. A couple of boundary riders, I think, on either side here. Well, they've got a long on and a long off, and he goes again, carving it into the same area. This time it's out under the lights, and the catch is taken by the captain. And Mousley Ali's on his way.
Clever field placement that from Milnes and Milan. Just before that ball was bowled, he brought up the deep backward square and put the deep cover out. You can see what he's trying to do there, cramping Moeen for room, getting him to hit into that leg offside.
Well, 148 for 4 then. It's the end of the over. Milnes strikes once more. Similar shot to what he played before, but it was just not timing it quite right this evening.
Yeah, and that fielder wasn't there. So he puts the fielder out, done the same thing again, and Moeen's fallen into the trap.
It's a good catch. Under the lights, always tricky to take, but Milan does it. And 17 still required from these final 2 overs. And Ed Barnard.
Sam Hain at the crease. Ed Barnard, steady cricketer. Will O'Rourke with his last over here. Like we said, he's got to find one over. This is the over.
Maybe. Look at that comparison, Aaron.
Yeah, ridiculously tight, isn't it? One run between the two sides. Of course, the Bears have got wickets in hand, but at this stage, I think Yorkshire not just feeling well in this, they might even feel a little bit on top. It just depends on how this over goes, of course. 17 from 12 deliveries. If a couple of wickets fall in this over, is not an easy task at all. So I'm not going to say it's the game, but it's pretty close to being so.
They need a man on strike.
Well, it's worth remembering that at this point, Yorkshire were on the rack. You know, they were on 149 for 7 with 2 overs to go, and they were very much on the rack. They'd gone appallingly wrong for them in the previous few overs. And here, right, that's
Sam
a brilliant
Hain
shot.
doing what Sam Hain does best. Steps across to the off stump and dumps it over mid-off for 4. Like we said, you need the man on strike out if Yorkshire to stand a chance of winning this game.
Yeah, it's a lovely shot this from Sam Hain. 156 for 4, so 152 for 4 now. Here's the score, so 13 required, 11 balls remaining, and Sweet Caroline echoing around the EdgBLASTon bowl, and no surprise.
This is an international bowler, and he's just stepped across the off stump, and he's just hit him into the, and he looks to do it again. Single, drops it into point.
Brings out Barnard onto strike. He's been in terrific form this season so far, Barnard. 153 for 4. Championship form, peerless. Almost 600 runs, or more than 600 runs for Ed Barnard, I'm thinking, in the championship.
Well, he has been outstanding, hasn't he, Ed Barnard? And something to watch out for here is actually the field placement. So Yorkshire have got the fielder at, let's say, a deep backward square leg. In fact, it's more like a deep fine leg, isn't it, that, or a long leg, because Barnard does love the scoop shot. We see that across format. So, yeah, that's a nice bit of captaincy and work from the bowler there. Milan just adjusting him. He's gone even finer now. So, just trying to take that option away here for the Bears all-rounder.
12 from 10. It's game on here. 6 wickets in hand, though. Barnard flails it away through the covers for 4. It's a brilliant shot from Barnard. He's off the mark first ball, and it's a terrific shot to take O'Rourke to the cleaners.
Break in the back of the chase here. I was about to say, this game, watching Sam Hain, though he hasn't had to bat for long, walking down the crease, getting hit on top of the head, and then still staying out there and seeing his side home. For any youngster at home watching, when you talk about character, grit, and desire, that's what it's about. And you know, Ed Barnard doesn't get his flowers all the time, but in county cricket, what an operator. To walk out from ball 1 and hit an international cricketer over the top like that is real quality.
He's just dug out an 87-mile-per-hour Yorker there as well to get a single, and it's 10 off the first 4 balls. So if this was the over for Yorkshire and for O'Rourke, it's not quite gone according to plan. He's only got 2 deliveries to come. 7 required then from 8 balls with 6 wickets in hand. The Bears closing in on that first win of this Vitality Blast campaign. Hain on strike. He's on 14 right now. Oh, yes! What a shot from Sam Hain.
Don't know what the plan is here from O'Rourke, but the Bears don't mind. Steps across again his stumps and kicks it into the deep mid-wicket boundary, into the hollies for 6. And Sam Hain is absolutely rocketing the Bears to their first win of the 2025 Blast campaign.
He moves on to 20.
Player.
Yeah, what a shot. 11 ball 20 so far from Hain. Into the hollies. Terrific. Huge 6.
1 off 7 remain. All fielders are in. O'Rourke to Sam Hain. What does he do? Oh, steady, cuts it behind point, and it goes for 4, and the Bears have won. Sam Hain has brought it home after being struck on the head the over before, shows his character, shows his desire, and wins the game for the Bears.
He does. Hain finishes on 24, Barnard unbeaten on 5. A 20-run partnership in 6 balls takes the Bears home to their first win in this Vitality Blast North campaign. The 2 defeats against Notts and Durham are put to bed, and it's a victory against a spirited Yorkshire side who looked kind of at the halfway stage of the Bears' innings, as though it was going to be quite comfortable tonight for Alex Davis and his side. But a flurry of wickets in the last 5 or 6 overs meant it finished quite tight. Alex Davis, the top scorer, en route to victory. But again, it's Sam Hain who calms everyone's nerves, as he does time and time again, scoring 24 from 12 deliveries to see the Bears home to an excellent victory with 6 balls to spare. A first win of the campaign. It will leave Yorkshire rooted to the foot of the table, while the Bears, well, they're upwardly mobile ahead of the game here on Sunday, of course, when they take on the Derbyshire Falcons in our next double header. But a great night for the Bears, a great night for Alex Davis, and it's Sam Hain, who else, with the winning runs. The Bears have won by 6 wickets. In a moment, Ricardo and Atif will talk you through the game, and you'll find out who the Talbot's Law player of the match is. That's in a moment or two. But it's the first win of the campaign for the Bears tonight.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
Well, what a day for the Bears in the Vitality Blast. A victory for the women earlier today and a victory for the men in the evening as well. Fantastic match. So many twists and turns, Ricardo. I thought for a while they were going to coast it. I thought they were just coasting to victory. And then there was a bit of a scare. It was more than a bit of a scare, actually, towards the end. I listened to Aaron. He was suggesting that, at one point, maybe Yorkshire were a bit ahead. And then enter Sam Hain, cool as you like. I mean, we'll break it all down bit by bit, but let's start with that opening partnership. Tom Latham and Alex Davies, I mean, they really laid down a brilliant platform to start things.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Before I came off comms, I said we'd love for it to be 60.
Yeah.
We almost got there.
From the power,
we take 50 odd. We'll take that. Hopefully win with no wickets down.
Yeah.
And then hopefully with 5 overs to spare. Look, at one stage, it looked like we were going to do that. But it wasn't quite to be tonight. However, as an opening partnership in a run chase, you couldn't ask for anything more calming, more steady, more assured.
Because it was the best way to sort of break it, wasn't it? They didn't really take too many chances. There weren't that many close calls or anything like that for Yorkshire. They didn't really get a look in until Tom Latham's dismissal. And when that dismissal happened, that's when all of a sudden there was a little bit of doubt. And even then you thought, okay, well, there's plenty of batting. Dan Mousley comes out. He doesn't quite get going. Moeen comes out. He doesn't quite get going. And then you're thinking, hang on a second. There's a little bit of a wobble on. And then, Alex Davies was dismissed as well. So, we can see a little bit of the action that we've seen in the second innings. Let's try and break down a little bit of it. The ending. I mean, this was quite something. In fact, this is at the top of the innings. I beg your pardon. Some close calls in the early stages, but the shots that they played, look at that, all the way along the ground, piercing the gap. There was no real ideas about taking too many chances. It was all kind of risk-free cricket. I mean, there was a little bit of fortune in that occasion.
A good bit of bowling.
Yeah, a good bit of bowling, but, you played it as well as you possibly could, I think. Some inventiveness there. I quite like that. A little bit of reverse sweep action there. But Latham and Davies, they just started things off brilliantly.
It's well managed and very clinical from the start from these guys. Normally, Marathi is quite a challenging customer in the power play and with the new ball. Today, we neutralised him really well. Milne's bowled really well up front. Like he's hit 2 helmets today.
Yeah, he has hit 2 helmets
two scalps with him.
I know. Davies,
that
was quite a dangerous moment, actually. For a moment, we were quite worried about Davies, but he came back quite strong, and he had a couple of little moments. I thought, where he was, it wasn't a chanceless innings, let's say, but the shots that he did execute were just absolutely delightful. Just little deft touches like that, beating the fielders, concentrating more on placement than power, and then obviously when the full tosses, when the pies were served up, he dealt with them as well.
Yeah,
I just thought it was a very complete performance there. I mean, that's a lovely shot again. Just rolled his wrists on it a little bit.
Yeah, that's from Latham. Yeah. Latham showed his international quality, though, didn't he? And shame he couldn't get the 50 in the end. Well, I think it was very, very measured batting here from the Bears. As we go through these highlights, you can see there that, again, if it was taken, it would have been a fantastic catch. Would have definitely made the highlight reel for the Blast catches of the season.
That was always going to be tough. That was the last one was the one that took Davis to 50. And, just looking at the body language as well. If you just look at the body language, continue to dip of the Yorkshire players, because you know that they've kind of taken it apart. And this was the moment where that wicket fell. He sort of gave it away a little bit, as you say. There was an opportunity for a 50 for Latham. But he'll still be pleased with that innings. It was some time spent out in the middle, broke the back of the chase, put them in a position where it was almost impossible for them to lose the game.
100%. I think a player of his quality will be looking back at that and thinking, you know what, if it was a larger total we were chasing, he would love to know that he would have finished the chase off. In came Dan Mousley. I think just before we move on, I think what was going on before, Marathi was bowling around the wicket to him, and then he said, I'm going to come over, cramp him for room, and then that's how we got his wicket there, because he couldn't quite make the angles there. Then came Dan Mousley. He looked fiery from ball one. Played a few strong sweep shots. Dave wearing another one.
Yeah, he had to wear a few. Right, in a moment we're going to have our Talbot's Player of the Match interview. We're just getting through these highlights. We'll be through them in a minute, but there's no surprises for anybody guessing. I know, but we're going to keep everybody in suspend. We're going to try and get through these highlights quickly, but that was a lovely shot. Just creamed it past backward point and just picked out. It was the placement of that shot recorder that did it for me. Because it was all there's so much emphasis on power hitting in modern T20 cricket, and obviously power hitting is very valuable. But sometimes there's no substitute for just finding the gaps and playing
good,
some
strong
shots.
Cricket shots. Yeah,
exactly, and that's what we got as well from our Talbot's Player of the Match, who's now joined us in the studio as well. And usually we'd wait for the end of the highlights package, but I think let's just have a chat with him. Let him talk through some of these highlights as well. This was
how he was feeling while he was sat on the bench.
It's the captain, it's the skipper who's come in, Alex Davis. I mean, you must be feeling really pleased with yourself after that performance today, and the performance you got a little bit edgy towards the end. But were there ever really any doubts?
Obviously it got a little bit closer than what we would have liked there. Obviously, I took the risk to try and sort of finish the game earlier. You don't really want it to get down to the last over, and we want to sort of play cricket where we dominate and don't take it too deep. That one, I misread the length a little bit, bounced on me, and I hit the splice on my bat, and I was gone as soon as I hit it. But I really enjoyed the partnership with Tom out there. Obviously, we bat really deep, so if we can set a nice platform early on and let Sam and Barney and Mo come in and do what they did, we'd have liked to have finished it a couple of overs earlier. But credit to them, they fought at it, and the wicket just held a little bit actually as the ball got a bit older. But we're happy to be on the board. Obviously, a couple of nice faces coming back into the team, which helped, and hopefully we can use this as a springboard going forward.
See, this was the moment where Sam Hain sort of sealed the fate of the Yorkshire team. It was a terrific shot, that one. Just a pick-up. It was beautiful. But you played some outstanding shots yourself as well. As we say, we've been talking about it already at length, so we're going to repeat ourselves a little bit. But, you really applied yourselves to that chase. It didn't take too many chances as well. It felt like because of the total, you knew that you could play sort of a controlled brand of T20 cricket. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think as a team we want to play aggressive cricket and we want to take the game on from ball one. I'm personally just desperate to contribute. I think I've not had the season I would like in red ball so far, and just to build a platform with Tommy there. As I said, we've got a lot of batting below us, and if we could set a platform and let the other guys come in and finish it off, that was the aim.
Well, you must be pleased that you managed to restrict Yorkshire as well, because they looked for a while like they might be touching the 200 mark as well at one stage, but you guys really pulled it back with that sort of flurry of wickets. Jake Lintott, that big over that sort of changed everything around with the 2 wickets falling at 164. You must have been pleased with that.
Yeah, we're very pleased with that. I think I looked up at one stage. I don't know the exact numbers. We've not looked for it yet, but I think they were around 120 off 12 overs, and we were like, we need to drag this back. So a lot of the credit for this win needs to go to the bowling unit. I've got a lot of options at my disposal, especially with more back. That's 4 spin options, 3 seam options. Barney didn't even bowl today. It's nice as a captain to look around and have that many options. And I think we were very aggressive. Once we got that 1 wicket, we wanted to squeeze and keep Malla off strike, and we did that really well. So a lot of credit needs to go to the bowlers there.
Yeah, it certainly does.
Talk us through that little peekaboo moment with Hassan. Who came up with that plan, and how did you formulate that plan to bring the mid on so straight?
Jake Lintott wicket.
Yeah, well, obviously short side and the wind going that way, we knew they were gonna try and target that. So actually we took a backward point out, and if they want a reverse sweep and take on the long boundary, then fine, and it brings Jake in, because he spins it both ways and they might not be picking him. We actually started with Hass sort of in the mid wicket gap, but I thought because Jake was bowling a slightly wider line, I thought it's not really going to go there. So I spoke to him. I was like, why don't you just put him behind you? Because if he's going to try and take you down straight, and obviously it's really nice when those things come off. But when
he didn't seem convinced himself either, because he was sort of standing there like, are you sure you want me over here? But you couldn't have placed him in a better position.
Jake was running in and he was like trying to peek behind him to try to see where I'm going to see the ball.
Yeah,
so
it was quite
a treat. It works a treat.
Yeah, it's nice when those things come off, and Jake's really good to work with. Obviously, we like to be quite innovative and think outside the box, and when those things come off, it's really nice. But when they don't, you look a bit stupid.
Well, I mean, you got to win on the board, which is really important. 2 losses. We talked about previous years of the campaigns of the Bears. They always start really, really strong, and then we've had some disappointing quarterfinals over the last few years. But maybe it's a slightly different pattern this year. But you got the win on the board. It must feel good. Sense of relief, maybe.
No, I wouldn't say relief. I think we're very calm down there. I know you say we started well the last few years, but 2 years ago we did lose the first 2, and then we went on to top the group. So we know it's possible. We've done it before. There's a lot of cricket still to go. I've mentioned it, but a couple of guys coming back. Hassan's massive, Mouse is massive. He bowls power play, he bowls death, he bats 3. Like it's almost 3 players in one. We're relatively calm down there. Obviously, we weren't at our best in the first two games. I think those first 2 games, if you break it down into 4 halves, we only really played one half of good cricket, which was batting at Trent Bridge. Mm-hmm. We didn't bowl particularly well in either of the games. So we're just finding our feet a little bit. And see, momentum's massive. I know it's a cliche, but if we can sort of find our template and stick to it, gain some momentum and really, really push hard. And we're very good at home. We love playing here. So every game here we can get a win. It's massive for us.
It's a nice crowd on a Friday night, and a bigger crowd expected on Sunday as well for this the earlier start this Sunday. So that's coming up here on Bears TV as well. First, the women's match, which will be live from, I think we're going to be live about 20 minutes before at 11:40. The game starts at 12, and then the men's game starts at 4. So we'll be live at about 3:40 for that one, Bears TV. But it's exciting, as you say. You love playing at home. The crowd, they're just brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah, they are brilliant, and any sniff of positivity we get, they're all over it. And as soon as we get a wicket, they make it hostile for the opposition. And yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm really excited for a 4 o'clock start on Sunday. This is late.
I'm gonna get on the motorway. Yeah, but it's Friday night. I think you've earned yourself a bit of partying time. I think.
I'm ready for my bed, I think.
Get ready again for the weekend.
Very well batted, and congratulations on the win. And we look forward to maybe we'll get you back here on Sunday at a very reasonable time as well. So let's hope. But
I'd love to be back up here and having contributed again. Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Well, we very much look forward to it. Very well batted today, and congratulations on the first win of the season. Hopefully, first of many is what we would say. And thank you to everybody who's joined us today. It's been great fun on Bears TV. 2 wins for the Bears today. First the women, then the men. What a fantastic day. My thanks to all of our brilliant colleagues today, to Adam Bridge, to Aaron Viles, to Ricardo Gordon, captain of course, our winning Bears team as well, Alex Davies alongside me. My name is Atif Nawaz. Good night, everybody.
I'll come back if I can have one of them jump.